Welcome back again to Night Views. SYL, ABDUL, and Silos.
Yes,
Where we
sir.
cover all different sports: football, basketball, professional, college, men's, women's, and when we touch on the storylines, Silos is what we do with these sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we see the Sunday Night Football. This is the post-game show, aka Night Views as well. We are on the YouTube channel, SYL, ABDUL Sports, Night Views Podcast, Carlos, RealTalkProductions, also the Twitter handlers as well. Follow wherever you see this at, engage and support. For sure, as we see again Sunday night, this is Cowboys trying to inch back. Carlos, look at the 49ers and Cowboys. Like,
I need them. I needed them to destroy the 49ers because in my fantasy, I'm going against the 49ers defense, and it ain't helping me out right now.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. That's why, that's why it's fantasy. No. But with the 49ers, definitely shout out to Brock Purdy. I mean, again, we see the score. They're about to drive again, I think, on the Cowboys and kind of put this away. But Brock Purdy has accounted for over 300 yards, passing and rushing, efficient game. 2 TDs, one passing, one rushing, compared to the $60 million man, Dak Prescott, about 170 yards, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. Here with Night Views, Carlos, we're not afraid to kind of upset the apple cart here. It's time to start asking this question. I've seen this story several times of Dak going against the 49ers. The 49ers are very gettable right now. They're in panic mode right now. And you can't take them out still. You still look like the Dak when he's making $40 million still. Now you got $60 million. You look like the $40 million guy. So you're basically Daniel Jones. My question, Silos, Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott? Who's the better quarterback right now? I say Brock Purdy.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Brock Purdy. I know we've had conversations in previous streams where we're like, if we were to put Dak Prescott in this team, he may shine a little bit more than Purdy. Purdy's proving that it's more than just the system. It's more. It's not just it's a system type of player. No, the 49ers are at a point right now where most of their team is hurt. And all they really have is Purdy out there. So he's proven that's like, I'm not just some scum off the street. Like I earned this spot.
To be fair, partly this is a coaching question as well, too, because Purdy has the Shanahan system, which works. It made Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl. Other quarterbacks have looked decent in this system, but Purdy, again, he fits what this team wants to do. And Dak is, I don't know what that coaching, whatever, something is not right with the Cowboys, especially when they play the 49ers.
And a lot of it, you're right. Coaching can be a key factor, but at the end of the day, as a player, no matter coaching good or bad, you're the one who's executing out there on the field. And there's so much that Dallas coach can coach Dak Prescott with some of the things that he's been doing these past couple of weeks. And it's just a downward spiral. I will give him to them today. I mean, he's making connections with CeeDee Lamb, which is something that should be number 1 in their book to do every week. And it's just like they're finally getting to it. But yeah, it's
well, CeeDee Lamb, as you mentioned, 10 catches, 76 yards, a touchdown. I mean, CeeDee Lamb's gonna eat anytime, but it's outside of that. I mean, you got Tolbert, Ferguson, Turpin, like just people that you gotta blame the GM now. And so then we're talking about ownership. So just the Cowboys as an organization is pretty screwed, in my opinion.
No, and I agree with that. And I think first of all, the way to start off the season, you wait to the first game to pay your quote unquote quarterback. And you have all this hoopla in the offseason, and it's just like you could have spent that money elsewhere. You could have made your team better, and pretty much wasted it all on the guy who's. I mean, Dak Prescott. I know we can we can sit here, we can talk, trash about him. We could blame him for a lot of these stuff, but it's like he's doing what he's been doing these last couple of years. You even just said it. He's playing like he was playing when he was getting paid 40 mil. So what he's showing us isn't something that's different. Yes, being paid that much, he should have elevated a lot more. Prove that he deserved that money. But as a GM, you look dumb because, you can't get mad at Dak. He's giving you what he's been, promoting these last couple of years. He hasn't really changed his game. So, I think Jerry Jones needs to hang it up. And, yeah.
Well, that's not going. We know that's not going to happen. It's like Jerry Jones. Just quite honestly, and I don't want to joke too much about it, but he's going to own this team until he dies. He's going to run this team. Yeah. So this is what the Cowboys is going to be, a circus, until either there's a coaching change, some kind of regime, something under ownership, though. This ownership is not going anywhere. But as it says on the screen here, 30-17 now. Like I said, this game with 4 minutes left. So we got to talk then as far as with the Cowboys. I got to send a message here. With the Cowboys, where do we go from here? Let's see, what's their record?
They're 3-3 right now. About to be 3-4.
Yeah, so they're about to be 3-4. So actually, let me pull up their I'm gonna pull up their division here. Let's see.
I had to do a double take earlier when I saw this. The Washington Commanders 6-2. Like, who would have thought that this year?
Hey, they balling, man. They balling, and really, it's about it's all about momentum, and do you have the mojo? And like they have it, man. It pains me how they beat my team.
I didn't want to
talk about them in a minute, man. We'll talk about them in a minute, but this reminds me of just those teams where you just get those bounces. Like I always remember back, an early team that I followed pretty hardcore when I was younger was the Vikings when Randy Moss got drafted.
Oh, yeah.
That first year, you had Randall Cunningham. Old man Randall was like slinging it. You had Chris Carter just kind of coming out of his prime. And you had just this nasty Randy Moss weapon. He just run past everyone, and it was just easy. And it seemed like just everything was falling their way until it didn't.
Yeah.
Right? You just get that, either get that lucky bounce or someone else gets it. And I just, that's the only way I could describe what's going on with the Commanders. Like, they're like this year's Texans, where last year got a new quarterback, new system, and things just going the Texans' way. They get to the playoffs and they make noise in the playoffs last year. I think the Commanders are going to do the same thing, but we'll talk about them in a moment. But Cowboys, they're going to be 3-4. As we see their division right here. They're not going to win their division. Okay, no. I'm just going to break it to Cowboys fans. I like to deal with reality. Again, I'm a lifelong Bears fan, right? I deal with reality, you know, and sometimes it's just not your year, okay? Yeah. Or not your day. So if that's the case, okay, if the Cowboys, what we say, 3-4, let me go to it's way too early to talk about playoffs, but if they're out of the division race, we got to kind of say, hey, can they make a wild card, right?
Yeah.
So if we go down here, they would have 4 losses, and right now, again, if the season ends today, a 2-loss team is the 7th seed. So you already have 4 losses. That's giving you an idea that you have a lot of ground to make up. Like, this will put them down here. They will stay down here.
The Dolphins hurt me,
and even the Rams make a jump up as well. But they're just giving people an idea that the Cowboys, I don't even call them panic anymore. It's just they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
or they probably won't make the playoffs. And they have a huge uphill battle, Carlos. That's what it's looking like with the Cowboys.
Honestly, the Cowboys need to do what we've been saying since the beginning of preseason, and that's just blow the whole team up, man. Like they need to just you take the L, just revamp the whole thing, man. I'm not a Dallas fan, but like seeing these Dallas fans out here for their sake, just redo it, man. Just redo the whole thing. Stop hurting them with this. You know, they're chanting out here. Oh, you know, this is our year. You sound like us Dolphins fans. Come on, it's time. It's time to smell the roses, move on. You know, I got more faith in the Giants than I do the Cowboys.
I like. Well, you was cooking to that last line. You was good up to that last moment, but
shout out to Jules on that.
I like the reality. I like the reality take, you know, because I mean that's what I try to do. You know, I know I have my personal feelings. Cowboys just got another touchdown here. Wait a minute. wait a minute.
Are we talking too soon? Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second.
3 minutes left. But they scored the touchdown. They got the field goal, 30-24. Now, fates can change right quick here. Because
listen,
because I'll say this: if the 49ers find a way to lose this game,
blow that team up. Blow that team up.
You gotta blow me, but it's a wrap. It's wrap
real. You're gonna be timed out from the chat for a little bit if they lose. All right.
That's good. We've got CeeDee Lamb with the touchdown. So where's he at now with yards? He got nearly 150 yards, 13 catches. CeeDee Lamb. Hey, $30 million, 35, was it 34 million? That's what you're supposed to do.
But, yeah, exactly. This is something that we talked about. Like, this is the same thing with the King Henry over at Baltimore. Like, you have these players, utilize them. Why are we waiting till like the middle of the season to find more plays for them? I understand you're trying to get, you know, acclimated, but CeeDee Lamb's been there. Why are you trying to like change the mode of what's been working so much? You know, so.
I think the Cowboys' real issue, because they always have offense. They always have offense. It's their defensive scheme. Because that's why I don't know why the story this past week was, maybe they don't have good offensive plays. No, Dak was runner-up MVP last year. He can put up numbers. He has a true number one receiver, CeeDee Lamb. Because if I'm talking about in the league, I always say 1A, 1B as far as receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Like those are like the two best receivers walking right now. But right after them, you know, you got a CeeDee Lamb. Of course, you got to put Tyreek Hill at the top as well too. But that next level though,
it's tough to really talk about Tyreek because he don't really have like today. It was good to at least see somebody being able to throw to him. You know, I will say that.
We'll talk about the Dolphins in a little bit. My thing, I have a problem with your Dolphins. And
believe me, I do too.
It's not just simple as saying, quarterback. Like,
yeah,
Tua, I have a problem with just the overall Dolphins that we'll talk about. But so because hey, let's say 3 minutes left here, who knows what can happen? The 49ers, let's look at their division here. They're 3-4. All of a sudden, the NFC West is very interesting because you have the Cardinals at the top.
Yeah, that's
the cardiac Cardinals. Kyler Murray, great for my fantasy team. Right now, I'm trying to keep an eye on the game. The Niners are trying to, you know, salt away the time. We'll see. But the Niners, they're in a real dogfight for their division because the Rams got all their weapons back. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp's back. They're both making plays again. The Seahawks are, you know, the standard may not make the playoffs, but you know, right now they have more wins.
It's definitely a fight. It's definitely a fight. Like there's no like grab, like, oh yeah, these guys are gonna win it all. Because you know, we've seen the Cardinals, they look amazing, and then there's weekends where they look like a 4-4 team, you know, like
Yeah. So the Niners, I mean, the Niners have to win this game. They have to put this away. Yeah. Because they just had a 3-score lead like 5 minutes ago. So it's like
that's ridiculous. That's
cannot play around, you know, and in that division is no given. There's no given as far as, you know, when they play the Seahawks. We saw it with the Rams, you know, the Rams beat them, the Cardinals, they both beat the Niners.
Yeah.
So right now, let's see, we got Purdy.
So I have a question. on what you feel about this. So I see Israel in the chat saying that the Niners have a bye after today's game. then CMC is scheduled to come back after the bye week. I personally, I wouldn't force Christian McCaffrey to come back. I really wouldn't. Not with the way your season is going so far. I understand we want to win, but at the same time, if Christian McCaffrey can get a full season of just being healthy, I think they should just go with that, because they've lost so many of their pieces, whether it's Jennings, whether it's Ayuk. Like, don't waste this time or the rest of this season on trying to bring him back, forcing an injury or something like that. That's just what I think. I don't know what you think about it.
So you're saying just don't bring him back right now? Is that what you're saying? With C-Mac?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's good to go, definitely they need him. They definitely need him in a red zone for sure. But I say if he's cleared, I say, hey, if he can move like he's supposed to move. But yeah, I would take precaution for sure. I see what you're saying with that, taking precaution. Right now, let's see. On my feed, it's 3rd and 10. It's 4th down, so they got to punt it. So Dak has a chance to win this at the buzzer, y'all.
They just stopped him right now. Yeah.
Dak has a chance to win this, and CeeDee Lamb's already smiling like he's gonna catch the game-winning touchdown. I mean, hey,
Israel, but I get what you're saying, Israel. I know the Niners are trying to win now. Everybody's trying to win now. But the thing is, you win, but the future and longevity of your team is what's going to hurt. Because let's say y'all win, but you ain't gonna win a championship. Not with this broken team right now. You're not. It's not gonna happen. Like, we need to wake up and smell the roses. I understand we want to get there, but I'm saying if there's a chance to keep your number one guy healthy, I wouldn't force that. I wouldn't.
That's fair. Like, I see what you're saying. I mean, like I said, hey, if he's clear, hey, this is football. I mean, again, this is just how I look at it. If he's clear, you're going to play. Now, I mean, could he re-aggravate? Could he? Yeah, I mean, it's possible. You're probably saying, like, Carlos, it sounds like what you're saying is, hey, even if y'all scrape this together and make the playoffs, you're probably not going to win. That's kind of what I want to speak for you.
Yeah. So pretty much it's that. And then here's my thing: is it's like maybe it won't be an injury, but it'll be an aggravation, because this man wasn't it like what was it that he had exactly? It was on both of his legs that he had this
like Achilles, like something of that nature.
Yeah, in both of his legs,
like Kevin Durant.
yeah. So it's like he didn't have a full season to recover, and you're kind of like throwing him out there. I personally, if I was the GM, I would be like, take the rest of the year off. This year we lost Ayuk. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and so with this playoff bubble again, I know it's very like it's way too early to talk about playoffs. I showed it. Almost got an interception. Man, I showed the division. They're in a dogfight for their division, but let's just say, okay, if the Niners lose, probably won't win their division the way it's looking. Right. 2 wins again is the 7th seed right now in NFC. Yeah. The Niners, if they lose today, will be at 5 losses. The Eagles have 2 losses and they're the 7th seed. So I'm just saying, like, just to set the table of they better close the deal on this. This would be really dicey. We got Dak, 3 minutes left. He's trying to get down the field.
Shout out to Ezekiel, man. Turn around.
Okay, Dak's looking like Dak right now, 3rd and 10.
He's just throwing it out of bounds. What is he doing? Oh, my goodness.
Dak's looking like Dak.
McCarthy it looked like he got the beer goggles on. He's just out there running around. Like, what's going on?
Man. I mean, they really got to, and like I said, NFL is any given Sunday for sure. But when you kind of dig yourself a hole, the Cowboys got a couple more losses than they shouldn't have right now. If they're going to be serious.
Yeah.
And it's just like right now, it's all uphill. So let's see. We may be out of sequence with the feeds, but Dak threw it up.
Yeah, I'm a little behind, but yeah.
Almost. That wasn't the best play, though, right there.
Oh, wow. That was in his hands, though.
But I think the placement, he was kind of like he would have been out of bounds. Really,
My coach would have made him do 10 push-ups or 50 push-ups and touch your
Ooh,
hands.
that is a tough placement right there. That's tough
It is.
placement.
It is. It is.
When you see the replay here, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But it's like, is that the guy you want to go for? I mean, who's this guy? Turpin?
Yeah.
That's who we need a money play. Now going for it on fourth down. This is money time right now. It's 60 million.
So that's my question. So did you see CD Lamb was like all the way back there?
Oh, did we get a flag? Did we get a flag? No flag. No flag.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow.
How's that not a flag?
This is how it is.
Oh my God.
This is how it is. That's what I said. This is money time.
Yeah.
$60 million man has to go to the $34 million man.
Oh.
CD Lamb didn't see one target.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's blocking on the line. Why is he not running a route?
I mean, that's when we get to coaching. These are the plays y'all want to. When you gotta have it. Now, outside shot, if they, it's over. it's over because they turned. I mean, they're right there. They're already in field goal range. The Niners are. They're just going to run the clock out. Yeah, unreal to lose like that.
If you lose it, you were just meant to lose. It's so Cowboys. Yeah,
this is so Cowboys. So we're back on the Cowboys losing. They tried to have a chance here for a second, but so they're going to be at 4 losses.
Wasted 2 minutes of my life. I'm never going to get back.
So let's kind of talk about the division then. So as we said, they're not going to win their division. So you're looking up to the Eagles and the Commanders, and I guess let's just talk about the Commanders. Crazy win like that game. Man. Commanders and Bears. My main takeaways is like I was saying before, some teams just have that. And again, with the Commanders, next season they may not have the same mojo because I mentioned the Vikings back in the day with Randy Moss.
Yeah.
They never recaptured that season that they had collectively. Moss went on to be Hall of Famer, yeah, but that year they were just so explosive and just everything was coming together. And the Commanders, that's what they're doing. And I see them as a clear playoff team, the Commanders. Yeah. And like I said, just like the Texans last year, I think they're going to get in they may win their division. We'll see. They got to face off against the Eagles. But I think they're going to make noise in the playoffs too. The Commanders are. And my Bears, the defense is all world. You kept the Commanders out of the end zone until the last very second of the game. you had them kicking field goals all game. Our offense is not ready for prime time yet. The Bears, when it's like real teams, I said we still get 8 or 9 wins, and this is a learning year for us. We got our quarterback.
They're going to get there, though. They're definitely going to get there. You guys have the weapons.
No, it's going to be there. But I'm talking about this season, realistically. We got our quarterback. It just, I don't know if it's coaching, their offensive coordinator. I don't know. But just watching those two teams, Commanders look like a playoff team, and the Bears look like, we're still learning right now.
I agree with that. And I think, we can blame coaching. But at the same time, I think coaching is learning how to play with this new quarterback. He is kind of low-key a freak of nature, being that young, and he came into the league looking like he was a veteran quarterback. So it's like you're still trying to learn the way he feels comfortable playing, and whatnot when it comes to the Bears. Now with the Commanders, one thing that I kind of want to push back on that I think is going to help them in the long run is the way Daniels commands his team, no pun intended. He really, like, just the way he talks to his teammates, you see how he gathers them when they're like already out of it. You see like some mistakes happen, and he's still on there yelling at them like, yo, like, we still got this. There's still a chance. And if the organization is smart, they will build off of that and build around him more. And I can see players this offseason wanting to go play for Washington, to just play or be in that feel that Daniels has. So
Right. And again, it's just like a Texan situation
Yeah,
where,
yeah,
CJ Stroud and that system was great that first year. Again, they got into the playoffs. They made noise. Then you get a Danielle Hunter on defense. You get Stephon Diggs, another
yeah.
receiver. So, like you said, more people are going to want to play for the Texans. And we know you want to do it now when you got that rookie quarterback. If he's good and you got a good system,
Right.
you don't have to pay that quarterback yet. So you can get as much like free
Right into
agents
the
as you
wheels
want
fall.
right
Yeah,
there.
right into the wheels fall.
Exactly. So,
At
hey.
that point, the rookies just want to win, and then eventually they'll worry about that money later. But yeah,
Right now, the first 4 or 5 years or whatever, it's about they're on that rookie scale, and you can get a real team built around them, until you have to extend them. So, like I said, crazy. My Bears, we didn't even deserve to even win that game. The way we looked the first 3 quarters, the fact that we had a chance was because of the defense.
yeah,
And just like I said, we're going to win against bad teams. The really good teams, and I think the Commanders are a really good team. It's an uphill battle. Jaden Daniels he accounted for nearly 400 yards all-purpose passing and rushing, and a touchdown. He's pretty efficient, though he was come off the rib injury, and my Bears had a good pass rush on him. He just like the real deal, man. Jaden Daniels, when you see it, man. Like
yeah.
he just got it, bro.
Yeah,
like,
he has it, man. He has it, man. And it's nice to see. And it's what's crazy about Daniels as well is that right now, and I feel comfortable saying this, he's in a league that, as QBs go, there is a lot of situational QBs. So if he catches some of these teams on a bad night, he can outperform the other quarterback on the other side of that team. And at the end of the day, that is who's going to make the difference to win a game, is who's going to show up as the QB and throw to their guys. And what he's been showing so far is that he is that guy when it comes to being the QB of his team. So, yeah.
So yeah, like I said, props to the Commanders fans. Y'all got a guy, and I'm looking forward to, as we see here again, the Commanders 6-2, Eagles won today as well too. I'm looking forward to when those two teams play, because those are the two front runners for the division. The Cowboys, with the loss tonight, I don't see them catching the division title at all. So we'll see.
ESPN, please stop talking about them. Please stop talking about the Cowboys. We don't want to see that on the ESPN no more.
They really gonna talk about them now because they just lost. So they're gonna leave the Cowboys are their season over. Now, as far as with the Cowboys, again, way too early for a playoff talk. But again, 2 losses to 7th seed. Cowboys are at the 4th seed. Right now, you're gonna be fighting with the Bears, Seahawks, Rams, whoever doesn't get the NFC West title.
Yeah.
I don't see the Cowboys making up that ground, in my opinion. But anyway, let's shift gears again, because here with Night Views, we want to touch on the big storylines. And, if teams got to panic or not, we got to bring up the Baltimore Ravens. Went down to the Cleveland Browns, the Jameis Winston Cleveland Browns, a different flavor with them. What did this game tell you anything, or was it just like a division? This is a tough division game.
This was just a oops game for the Baltimore Ravens. The last couple weekends, man, for the Ravens have been like, they look like titans out there. So I mean, it was bound to happen. Better that it happens now than in the playoffs. They could regroup. And then with the Cleveland Browns, they're so, I guess the best term, wiki-washy. Like, we don't know what to expect from them any given night. And then you finally give them a true quarterback, because it's not like they're slouches. They do have players on there who can catch the ball. It's just a matter of the person throwing them the ball. And you finally got Winston out there, who we thought should have been starting for this team.
Yeah.
And he used his time wisely, man. He been working in the gym, and he got out there and got them a dub against a very good Baltimore Ravens team. So I think this is more giving props to Jameis Winston and the Browns today than it is more of, let's worry about what Baltimore's doing. they have to clean up a lot of stuff, yeah. But at the same motion, this is more of a like, let's go to the film room the next day. This is what we messed up, and we'll move forward from it. So that's my thoughts on it.
Well, I think, yeah, like you said, with Jameis Winston, I thought that was a huge pickup in the offseason.
Yeah.
Is your backup quarterback, especially for, you know, a mobile quarterback. Like we talked about the Colts with Anthony Richardson. You got Flacco behind him. That was a really good pickup for the Colts because Richardson, you know, you may want to pull him actually at some point, actually. But
I can't believe he said
Winston,
that today.
Winston was a very good pickup for the Browns because we, you know, was like, hey, Deshaun Watson, I don't know how much longer he's going to hang in there. And if, I will say, just side note, because we took a couple weeks off, it was unfortunate that Deshaun Watson blew his Achilles. I thought one of the most disgusting things I saw was people cheering.
Ridiculous.
You know, his fans, the Cleveland fans, were cheering that he got hurt. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but we didn't stream last week. But, you know, obviously online, you know, people, they talk real tough when they're online. So, you know, they whatever.
It's very disgusting. And I feel like in all sports, that's what it's becoming. It's becoming more of a, what's the next viral thing I can say about this situation? And we're forgetting that these are people. So
yeah, exactly. Like like people want to play this morality card in sports. And I'm not even getting into politics and stuff, but it's like the main people that's trying to be like, oh, you know, they deserve this to happen. They're like the most disgusting people. Like, I'm like, I wonder, like, maybe you should blow your Achilles out since you want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like
who are you to determine that?
Are you this model citizen out here? Like, what? I'm sure you're trash. I was telling people that online.
I'm sure you're at the massage parlors with them too, man.
Like, I'm sure you're a disgusting person too. Like, so we the main thing is that we can't get so personal and because I don't like their personal choices, they should, like, their legs should fall off. It's like, come on. You know, let's keep it sports, you know, and like I said, I'm sure you're a jerk in real life too, people out there that wishing for him to get injured. But anyway, we knew he was playing like trash, right? So silver lining, it's kind of, you know, okay, you hurt, okay, let's go.
Come on, sir. You've been keeping it good, sir. Come on, bro. Let's push through it. Let's push through it, bro. I'm here to keep us in order.
Silver lining, like, okay, he out for the year. Dang, he out for the year. Okay, well, hey, Jameis Winston accounted for 334 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. This is probably one of Jameis's best games ever that he played today.
Well,
no turnovers.
What I found crazy is that he wasn't their first option when Watson went down. And to me, that's just like, you have this guy, you're paying him. Why are you waiting to start him and put him out there? Look what he's producing for you. Like, I tell you one team who's really shooting themselves in the foot that should have held on to him, and that's the Saints. Because imagine him on the Saints right now.
Ooh, that's a good point. Like, man, because, you know, Derek Carr goes down, the Saints are on that third string. They pulled their backup today because he was so terrible. The rookie, I think Rattler, whatever his name is. Now you got the third string. They're in trouble. If you have Jameis, you at least have he gives you a gunslinger's chance. Every time he's out there, he may throw to the other team, but
he's throwing it though. You know,
he lets it fly, bro. So hey, the Browns, they're not. You know, they're 2-6. No, they're not going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to be an easy out with Jameis back there. I'm just saying overall. Mr. J said just like the Yankees cheering on Tiny when Tiny went down for the Dodgers. But see, Mr. J, that's more of like the opposing team, like, you know, It was Cleveland Browns' own fans cheering for Deshaun Watson to get hurt. Like
that's like Yankees fans if Stanton were to like get hurt or something like that. You know, and side note, I am working on some baseball portions. We'll probably insert in the future. We got the World Series going on. So nice.
By the time we come back, the series may be wrapped up the way it's going, but we're going to talk about a little baseball as well in the upcoming weeks. But so yeah. You know, like I said, Browns, with the Ravens, you know, bump in the road. I still think they're contender level.
Keep driving.
Yeah. no panic
Yeah.
For the Ravens there. Now, let's I want to briefly touch on this thing. I don't want to give them
Yeah.
too many props here. You got
MTJ, you sleeping, right? We ain't got to
yeah,
worry about you in the chat
we
right
don't
now, right?
want to give them too much, but I do gotta say I think the Lions, they are playing the best ball like in the league
Yeah.
right now. They really are. Seeing how they play, and that's why that's how I judge my Bears. Like, okay, if the Lions having a good day, can we even like hang with them? The answer right now, as far as for the Bears, is no.
Yeah.
No one in the NFC North can hang with the Lions right now, and probably no one in the NFC. And I don't think the Chiefs could hang with the Lions. If you line them up right now and you just neutral field, I think the Lions. I don't think the Chiefs will score enough points right now.
Yeah. I think personally, they're in that trajectory. They got to keep going. They got to keep pushing like how they're playing. They're playing some great football. But when we get towards that end of the season is when a lot of these teams who are playing good now, all of a sudden they just misstep and something happens, and they got to keep it on that motion. They got to keep pushing. So, hey man, shout out to Campbell and all that.
Coach Campbell,
Coach Campbell, and Golf, all of them, man. St. Brown coming back from that injury, that was huge.
Brown.
Yeah, so
yeah. Now I'd say with the Lions, like I said, the couple weeks that we took off, I circled that game last week when they played the Vikings. I said, whoever wins that game, I'm saying they're the best team in the NFC, and the Lions handled their business. Really outplayed the Vikings, and the Vikings kind of reeled a little bit after that. The Lions are the best team now. Their schedule coming up because, like you said, they got to keep it going. But I think they're clear cut. They're the best team.
Yeah.
NFC. They play the Packers next. Who Jordan Love just had a little injury today, groin injury
again.
So yeah, he went down earlier today. So we'll see. If they work him back in this week coming up. But the Lions got the Packers, Texans for the next 2 weeks. Jags Colts is on Thanksgiving. So
yeah,
I can see them winning all these games.
Yep. And the fact that you mentioned the Minnesota game, Montgomery got hurt that game and they pulled him. And the fact that they still pulled out that W, that was huge, because look at what Montgomery did this week. After getting healthy, was able to have him, hey, rest up, you're hurt. He came back this week and he was balling out too. So it's nice to see, man. It's nice to see.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, the Lions, they're clear cut the favorite. I mean, I can't front when they're playing good, man. I still think my Bears could get them one time. I think we can catch y'all slipping one game, but we'll win the battle.
MTJ is clipping the chat right now. He's clipping this right now.
We won't win that war, though. That's we'll win the battle, probably not the war with that team. But let's jump. I'm not going to torture you with the Dolphins talk, but just the main thing.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Look.
So we'll put it up there.
Okay. Yeah, it was a tough loss for us, right? We thought we were gonna get the win, the Tua comeback. What, as a fan of football in general, seeing Tua out there, he looked comfortable again. He actually ran the ball. He had a slide. The whole stadium was clapping. That is what I wanted to see, because moving forward, I can see us making a little bit of a noise or something. But personally, and this is going to hurt my heart to say this, I think it's time for us to move on from the Tua and Hill situation.
Well, what does that mean? What are you saying?
I think we have to choose between either of the two. If we're really behind Tua, let's start building around Tua. Let's do what we have to do to keep him not having these moments of where it's life or death. Or are we so bought into the number one receiver in the league, which is Tyreek Hill, in our eyes, because we pay him like that? We need to build some more assets around him to keep him available in that situation. Whether it's getting more of a lineman to have our quarterback have more of a time out there. But we're in a situation where we're stuck. We paid both of these players. We played, we just need to make the right moves. And, whatever's they're doing right now is not working.
So I mean, the last month, when Tua got hurt, the game that he got hurt in, I think we both agree, they were getting destroyed by the Bills before he even got hurt in that game. And that showed me like there's a big game problem with the structure of this team. Just how they looked last year in the playoffs against the Chiefs. It was just like, that's how I feel with my Bears. I'm like, oh, okay, we're outgunned here. Like we can't match up with, you know what I mean? So with the Dolphins, today was a winnable game, and I'll get to that. But that game when he got hurt against the Bills, it was like, okay, what if he didn't get hurt and they just got smashed that game? Then it's like, okay, hey, let's win the winnable games, and then we'll see the Bills again. I don't think you believe they could beat. I don't think you believe you can match with them because the same thing, just like the Niners and the Cowboys, right? The same thing keeps happening as presently constructed, right?
Yep.
So when Tua goes down, now I like your coach, McDaniels?
Yeah.
Offensive scheme and stuff, but it was like, was it Pee Wee League offense? Like we couldn't. Your playbook is that complicated that your backup can't. No one can mimic. Like their offense was terrible for a month, and they only beat the god awful Patriots during that time.
What's crazy to me is that when we see these third string, second strings come in for a player like Tua, we see the same amount of like, I need to make that play to win the entire game. Just like Tua has. He has that panic. And as an offensive coordinator, when you're running these plays, you would think whether it's we need more practice time, we need like you shouldn't be feeling like, oh shit, I'm shitting myself because like the game's on the line. Like, no, like this is what you get paid for. This is your job.
This is a simple thing. What was the last game? They didn't target Tyreek Hill to the fourth quarter. Like
or Waddle.
So that's coaching.
Yeah.
That is something. And again, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's a system thing, but then on top of that, the flip side, you get Tua back out there today and the offense is humming. So my conclusion, let's give Tua some respect out there. There's a lot of people talking real crazy about Tua. I'll probably chime in a little bit this offseason. But let's give that man a little respect. He is a starting caliber quarterback in this league. He deserves, what do you get, 40, 50 million, whatever? He deserves that. It's not top money. It's starter money that you probably can get us to the playoffs. Give some respect to Tua. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But this team as constructed, think y'all missing a little bit on defense. The running game looks great. The offense is fine, I think. But like you said,
I think more is on the line, whether it's defensive line and definitely offensive line. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's time, and a lot of it too. Armstead is our main, lineman in the middle, the snapper, the guy who protects Tua most of the time. There's seasons. There's been seasons where he can't get on the field because he's always hurt. At that point, you need to make a situation and you need to focus, whether it's drafting, whether it's signing somebody. Like we need to figure it out. Your number one defensive lineman, ended up, on his rookie year or, that contract year, leaving us and going to the Raiders because they're paying him buku amount of bucks. Why didn't you invest in that?
And like I said, as far as with the money being allocated, I mean, Tyreek Hill was getting $30 million. He obviously deserves that.
Of course.
But Waddle is getting just about $28 million.
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't have invested that in Waddle. That could have been two linemen, offense and defense. To be quite honest, get a couple of veterans or something. So the balance of this team, because Ramsey was making plays today, so they got some players. It just looked like okay, and it was like you said, the stadium.
Van Ginkel, another one we had a chance that he was on our team, left to go to the Vikings.
It was good to see Tua like just out there and just playing ball and sliding, and the energy was there. Tyreek Hill was like on the moon, and so it's like you still have something there right now. like we said on with Night Views here, we try to deal with reality here now,
No,
right?
yeah,
Now,
for sure.
So 5 losses in this division, meaning even if you beat the Bills next time you play them, you still will be 2 losses behind. So that's tough. That's tough. I don't think we're gonna get the no chance of the division, but silver lining. We try to do some silver linings here. 3 losses in the AFC is a 7 seed. You're not out of the fight yet. You got 5 losses, 3 losses and 7 seed, meaning you're fighting the Colts, the Bengals, right now, and whether the Chargers or Broncos drops down. So you're not. It's not over.
Yeah,
it is going to be an uphill battle though, for sure.
Right.
For the Dolphins.
And I feel like that's what we took away from this game. Seeing Tua at least back, comfortable out there. Like you said, sliding and all that stuff. And then another thing that's helped us a lot, and thank you to them, the Jets and the Patriots, being booty. Like, thanks. I appreciate it.
Those some winnable games coming up now. I will say, though, it's a week-to-week league with the NFL.
Yeah.
Next week, you have the Bills. You're going to Buffalo. Dolphins at Buffalo. Bills. That's going to be tough.
It would be nice. It would be nice, and I know this is wishful thinking, but it would be nice for Tua to get a dub against the Bills, especially coming back from this injury that was against the Bills. It would be nice. It would be a nice start for the rest of our season. So
this could jumpstart their run because again, it's a run to the wild card.
Yeah,
if you can make it. It starts with that game. I mean, and even if they lose, they're not mathematically out of it. If they lose it, it's just going to be tough to fight with those other teams for that wild card. And that's a big game next week. That's a really big game.
It's definitely circled on the calendar. Definitely.
Yeah. So we'll see. As far as the Cardinals, NFC West, insane.
Yeah.
Right now Cardinals own the tiebreaker against the 49ers. So the Cardinals has the lead in that division. So that's just insane to see. But so let's move to the next one. I guess you mentioned the Jets and Patriots. So this is crazy.
What an atrocious game
this is crazy, man.
I didn't even watch this game. I should have, but I didn't watch this game.
So I had, I think it was a red zone kept popping to it, and the Jets had this game won. And it's just fourth quarter mistakes, continuity mistakes. I mean, their season's over. Okay, 2-6 Jets. You're not going to the playoffs, Jets fans. Aaron Rodgers fans. It's a wrap. It's over. So what now, man? Like where did this go wrong in your opinion with the Jets? Where do you start?
What went wrong was giving the keys to Aaron Rodgers and allowing him to blow this team up before they even had a chance to actually be a team. I was way off the Aaron Rodgers hype train way before this season and last season started. We saw what Aaron Rodgers was at the end of that Green Bay Packers season before he moved over. I honestly don't know what more they expect out of him to produce, to give. It just it doesn't make sense to me. And then, hey, shout out, you saved Devontae Adams, from a horrible place. And now he's in another horrible place, looking even worse. It's I know you talk about, and then I'm going to jump to the NBA. You talk about the Lakers and how they're a clown show. I think the Jets, it's literally the definition. If you go into the dictionary, you'll see the definition of a clown and a clown car. It's going to be the Jets organization. The Patriots, on the other hand, they're trying to regroup from losing Bill Belichick, still regrouping from losing Tom Brady. And they're in there, at least they admit it. They're in that growing season. They're in that growing pain because they have games where they look really good. Their defense is still their defense. You don't want to ever be really against that type of defense. But they're not. They're the realists. They understand where they're at. They're not expecting a lot. They just want to go out there and play games. The Jets think they're going to win the Super Bowl every weekend, and it's just like, I don't know what y'all stay off the ayahuasca or whatever it is you're doing, because y'all ain't going that far. And that's just me being real.
It's a run. I mean, they're 2-6 right down there with the Patriots. No one's expecting the Patriots to do anything. They're working in a rookie quarterback who got a concussion today.
Oh man.
But a couple games off, he'll be back. So they're already rebuilding. You know where the Patriots stand.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets, their problem. I'm not even gonna. Well, yeah, it's by proxy is Aaron Rodgers, but the problem is defense. This is supposed to be top 3 defense, top 5 defense.
Yeah.
And teams are moving the ball way too easily on them for them to be like, oh, we got this top defense. We just need a quarterback. You're behind the pace of last year when you had Zach Wilson at quarterback. You were actually more competitive last year. So something's wrong, right? So, firing the coach, I think, was a bad.
Yeah. There you go. That's all. That's all it is right there. That's the answer to it all. And now we got to prove it to why we fired him. And it's just like you're proving it that why you should not have fired him.
It was a bad move. It's got to be bad energy in this organization now because the identity of this team was Coach Saleh and defense. And they were at least, they were leaky at first at the beginning of this year, and then they were trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And we saw the problem was offense for a couple weeks. Even Aaron Rodgers was like, I got to play better and stuff like that. So the answer is to fix the offense, right? No, they fired the coach, the defensive coach. Now your defense isn't looking the same, and your offense isn't moving the ball like you wanted to. So this is a blow it up situation.
Yeah, I don't know what their motive or whatever you want to call it was with firing, what's his name, Solana? Like I don't
Saleh, yeah, Coach
Saleh, yeah. I his move was he was going to remove the offensive coordinator at the time. And then all of a sudden he's getting a call that, it's over for you. You got to go. And now you're
fired. And they removed the offensive coordinator still.
Yeah.
They took this move.
So you're worse. You're worse. You're worse than what you did. It just don't make no sense. I'm just saying.
It makes no sense. I mean, again, I never doubted the Jets defense. The last 3 years, I thought they had, as soon as they got Sauce Gardner and all these other guys, I was like, oh, the defense is decent. You just need a quarterback. You get your quarterback, but then you got all this drama with it. Now you got this upheaval. And so now it's like, hey, just quite honestly, Jets, like, this isn't like, oh, next year we'll see what this season's over. Aaron Rodgers should retire. Mm-hmm. You should be looking to draft a quarterback or get one of these highly priced backup guys to like a stopgap quarterback.
Flacco would have been better over here.
Yeah. Jameis Winston would be better.
Yeah.
This experiment's over. I don't even care what their schedule is after this. It's over. Before Thanksgiving. This is bad.
Ridiculous.
This is really bad. So hey, that's on them. Choosing that fate going this direction. That was just a few storyline highlights for the NFL side. Again, I don't get too caught up in every single game. Not every team's not worth talking about. So, but tomorrow, Monday night is Steelers and Giants. I think we expect the Steelers to win that game. Right, they're favored. They're minus 5.5. Steelers.
Do they got Wilson starting again tomorrow?
Well, Coach Tomlin's trying to play it coy, like, oh, we'll see. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Russell Wilson.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty sure it's gonna be Russell Wilson.
Do you think they're going to? This is more of a ploy of like getting teams out there to kind of bid on Russell Wilson, like getting him some playing time out there, or you think more of that's what the whole situation with Fields was?
Well, I think Fields is the future. I think they see like Russell, you got him this year for cheap. You kind of see what happens next year with him. Fields, you could sign him or extend him or whatever for cheap, going forward. So right now, like, what did you think with the Fields, what they had like a 4-2 record with them or something like that.
Yeah.
Watching him, I saw the reasons why my Bears traded him. Right, I saw it was moments, it was some flashes.
Yeah,
but then there's throws he can't make. I mean, would you have put Russell because a lot of people thought they shouldn't have put Russell Wilson in? What did you think with that switch?
So for me personally, when I saw it, I was more of a we're winning right now. Why? I'm a very don't mess with the flow of things type of guy, especially when I'm coaching. And I felt like that was a big difference flow. Now it worked in their favor because Russell came out and balled out. But the thing is, Russell needed to do this. Now, if Russell comes out this week and shits the bed, then it's gonna be an issue.
It was great last week. It was the first quarter against the Jets. Russell Wilson, he was like, he didn't really have his arm warmed up or something. He was kind of short, short balling a little bit, some throws, and the crowd was starting to boo a little bit, So all it's going to take is one bad half, and then Fields is right back out there, in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see. The Jets. The Giants defense is pretty decent. I'll give them over the middle of the pack defense for the Giants.
With that being said, mind you, there are better offensive teams out there, but what they got going with Neighbors and what's the other dude's name? The other receiver, Robinson, with Daniel Jones. Hey man, they look okay. They look obviously. Do you want that to be your future? Yeah, no. Those receivers. Yes, the quarterback. No.
No. Yeah. I was like Daniel Jones. Like, hold up, no. They don't look that good. Neighbors. Yeah, hey, force feed that guy the ball. He gets about 12 catches a game, so that's good. But yeah, quarterback. No, you should be drafting because they're gonna. They're 2-5 right now, so they're gonna have a top 5 pick. Maybe they get Shedeur Sanders or something from Colorado, and build from that. Daniel Jones is not the answer for that. So we'll see how they do next week with that. I'm not gonna spend too much time doing picks and stuff. We missed too many weeks, so I ain't gonna worry about it. But I think we both think the Steelers are gonna win tomorrow.
Yeah. Facts.
So we'll see with that. So let's transition because with Night Views we are integrating more basketball talk. We got the NBA season starting, so let me kick into gear the basketball portion of the discussion here today as soon as it pops up for me.
Shout out, Tyler. Appreciate you being here.
Basketball views, shifting gears. The NBA season has started. This is the best time of year for just sports.
Carlos. Man, I'm so
October's
excited.
The best. You already got football going. You had the WNBA going on, which we'll talk about just briefly too. Baseball was in the playoffs. Now it's World Series, and the NBA season has started. But before we touch on the NBA, gotta give congrats to the WNBA champs, New York Liberty. You got Breanna Stewart. You got Sabrina Ionescu. Jonquel Jones, the MVP of the finals. And that big girl was playing, bro, double-doubles, defense. So definitely it was – I had a lot of fun watching the season and the playoffs. I think me and you talked about it a lot, this past month. And it was a fitting in. Minnesota Lynx. It went to overtime, right? Game 5, final game in the finals.
Multiple games in that series went to overtime.
Minnesota Lynx was right there. Like it really could have went
Yeah.
either way, and that was really fun to watch because we don't get enough of that, in the NBA. Like just
Yeah.
you don't know who's going to win with that.
I definitely want to say something about that. First of all, shout out to the Liberty, like you said. All these, I mean, the best word I can call these guys are
Tyler
posers.
Helton.
What's up, Tyler? The most I could say about these guys are posers because it's like you pick certain clips from certain games, and it's like, yeah, you got some girls missing layups and stuff like that, and then you're amounting a battle between these two teams.
So
that
I'm glad you brought this up. Let me transition to that. So, because I was going to ask that about what we learned.
Okay.
And I want you to keep going, but I just want to set this up properly. Because, like I said, we enjoyed what we saw, and then you do see this social media or online, negativity towards the entire thing. Now, I do have some things I may say, hey, let's tweak that. Yeah. But you were saying, because I want you to finish with your point. You were seeing people kind of picking on the quality, I believe, of the game.
Yeah. So, and this is the best way because I've had many conversations about this because it really bothered me. And it's the aspect on how they are looking at this game, and some of them don't even look at the game. They're, like I said, they're seeing the viral clip going around, and they're like, oh my god, like if I was on there in the WNBA, I would be number one. And it's like, no, you're not realizing that this is a series. These women have been battling. You had this just to mention this championship game, championship series. You had multiple games where you're going to overtime. These women are freaking pretty much killing each other to win this game. Now, I'm saying all that to preference this. For those of you who don't watch the WNBA, stop putting your eyeline, your views on what you see on the NBA and comparing it to the WNBA.
Right.
For one, the WNBA actually has different rules when you are comparing it to the NBA. There are certain things they are allowed to do that the NBA doesn't. Just not to make things easier for the women or nothing. It's just the way the game is officiated. It's officiated differently. So you're essentially looking at a different game. It's what keeps it way, that equal level of competitiveness, because anyone at that moment can really go off, And so, like, to me, that really bothered me because I kept seeing that. Oh, we would never see this in the NBA. And it's like, cool. You want to watch the NBA? Watch the NBA. But don't compare that to what we're getting from the WNBA.
I think what people are missing, and again, most of these people aren't genuine critics of the game. They're just, it's different agendas. People try to be slick with their agendas out there. And it's like, oh, women, it's one thing to argue, should the WNBA players, should they make as much as the NBA players do as a league? No, NBA is more popular, it generates more revenue. NBA does. That's a fact. Men's basketball does. But with the WNBA, you said a good thing. You have a different product. First off, that big W, these are women.
Yeah.
So you can expect them to run, a full series like men. You actually can't. It's biology. It's saying they will likely get tired because they're not built like men.
Yeah.
Okay. So fatigue set in, and you did have a Ionescu. She shot terribly that last game.
Yeah. But she did make it when they counted, though.
She made a big shot.
Yeah.
But we can't compare, she's supposed to be like Steph Curry. No.
Yeah.
She can't run around. And again, hopefully this doesn't offend women when I say this, but I mean, she can't have the same energy as a man. Her body's not built for that. So after 20 shots, I'm pretty sure women's arms, react differently from men's arms. You know what I'm saying? So
just to preference a little bit on what you're saying too. Yeah, they, as of right now, yes, WNBA shouldn't be getting paid the same as NBA players, but they are leading to that now, to where in the future, when it builds and we have more, stuff where they're talking about making more teams for different cities now, like, they can get to that. We're just not at that level yet. But
Right.
it's getting there. But yes, no, you're right. You're 100%.
They had great ratings now because that's this other argument. Again, people they're being so obvious with how they're trying to shape this. But me and you, our very first Night Views podcast, we was like, oh, I'm more interested in the WNBA. Yes, because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in this rookie class. That brought a lot of excitement to this league. And that's one thing. That's one phenomenon. And I believe they should have took Caitlin and Angel and Cameron Brink to the Olympics. I think he would have had better ratings. But we're past all that. I'm not worried about that right now. Yeah. It's now you get to the finals and they got record ratings. And it wasn't Caitlin Clark. This was people watching the WNBA, and it's growing. And again, it's a different game. And maybe just like you said, people, if y'all watch some of the regular season games like me and Carlos was, like we would be messaging about him and stuff in our sports chat and stuff, then you would have kind of know what you was getting into in the playoffs here for WNBA. So now I think one thing I see with this free agency, I think you're going to see better quality play. It's only going to go up because more eyes are on this league. You got more girls getting trained like homegirls in college right now in USC. You got some players coming they're learning the game a higher quality than it was before for women. And you're going to see another wave for the next 2 or 3 years. And so I say what they started with this season, and I know they started building before the season, but after the Caitlin hype that's on this league now, now it's like, okay, free agency. We need some super teams. That's what we need in the WNBA, because I don't know how a lot of these contracts are like 1-2 years. You're going to see a lot of players moving. The Aces was actually a super team last year before they got injuries and stuff.
They literally had everybody on that team.
And with the Liberty, they were pretty stacked. They had that rookie. She was hitting some big shots when everyone else was getting tired. So that's what I think what's going to help this next season. Yes, Caitlin Clark. Let's get her some more shooters on her team, or a big girl or something on her team. And then Angel Reese, let's get her some more shooters around her, because that has to happen, and they have to meet in the playoffs. You're talking about ratings. We want to take this to another level. Let's make sure both, and I'm not saying like cheating wise, but I'm just saying both those organizations, make sure you surround both of those players. Because that's only going to help the league.
I think one thing that was really big this offseason was that announcement of they're looking to make more teams in different cities. And to your point, you're talking about some of these players that are like, we need to, get together. We need to do this. That's not to say it's going to be on a team that's already built. It could be a team on a new city, kind of like what they did with, again, I'm not comparing, but I'm using this as an example. But with Brooklyn, when you had that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving situation, they really promoted Brooklyn, when it becoming that big team, and I can see the WNBA taking that route and getting some of these players and start moving things around. Because me as a fan, watching this season, of course, if there was a team down here in Miami, man, I would be first in line. I'll be getting footage for Night Views, watching, going to all the games and stuff. But I think once it gets to that level, that's when the exposure is going to start even going crazier. So
and it was a good start. I mean, they had, like I said, they were building something. You had the Aces. They had, like I said, an Olympic team. Their starting five was like all in the Olympics for the last 2 or 3 years. And just how this game is different. It could be tougher if a woman has a leg injury and they're trying to recover. They had a couple injuries on their team. It's a different brand of ball. So now it's like I said, we need some more super teams. You mentioned the expansions. Golden State's getting a team. Women's teams will have an expansion draft soon.
Yeah,
a lot of these girls coming in, like I said, they're learning the game. Like how someone Caitlin Clark, like, man, was she pulling from 30 feet and stuff like that, and got handles. And there's some players in the league too right now that had that. Yeah, but it's going to be a nice wave of just this young talent. you know, and it's gonna make it more interesting, man. So I'm looking forward. Like I'm gonna be following, like I said, the expansion draft. I think that's what they say. I just saw it a minute ago here. It'll be December. So expansion draft, and I'm sure after that will be free agency.
Yeah.
You know, you have a chance for, like I said, these players, they could be like, oh, let's link up, you know, and get a big three or, you know, a couple of teams here. So we're going to be covering the WNBA for sure.
And the NCAA for women's has recently, I believe the preseason started a couple weeks ago. So like we have so much sports to talk about, bro. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's a great time right now. It's a great time.
Yeah, you got your women's college ball in general. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm more interested in the women's college ball than the men, but I'm gonna follow the men. But definitely a team to look out for. Like we've been saying this since the beginning of our show here, but UConn, they got Paige Buchers, who's probably the best college women's player. She's a point guard. She's kind of like I'm not gonna say she doesn't play like Caitlin Clark, but she's like a straight up point guard with speed and handles. That's what Paige Buchers is. And so she's, you know, it's exciting, you know, when she's running her team. And then you already know what I call the future GOAT, USC Juju Watkins.
We should call her what she really is, Mrs. Nike right now, because she signed that contract too with Nike. Man.
She's gonna be on TV like crazy. Y'all gonna know her when you see her. Juju Watkins on USC, so that's California. So a lot of people gonna be watching her in college. She's only a sophomore, so she still has to play like a couple more years after this. But that's the future GOAT. I'm gonna be saying that like for the next 3 years. That's the future.
Yeah.
She's straight up. She trains with NBA players. Like she's like one-on-one, trying to beat them one-on-one. Like that. We need more women to try. And I say this because growing up, it was a longtime family friend of the family. You would think she was like a model, but she would ball. Like she was out there playing street ball with dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, when she got knocked up, it was over, right? It was like it was like, but it's like those couple years,
guys, in case you didn't notice, that's what we get here. You know, we get the rise and then we get the.
But it's like those couple years or those couple summers, like she was out there like starting point guard, bro. She was playing like Gary Payton, bro. I'm dancing. She was out there playing like Gary Payton. And then, you know, when she got scooped up, it was over. It was over, bro.
The glove came in, you know.
Right. Those are the type the girls like that. Those are the type of girls that are gonna be coming into this league. Like that's what we're gonna see. So,
for sure, man.
We're looking forward to more of that. But we had to give, you know, women some love. Like I said, when college ball is coming back, you know, this fall, that's gonna be exciting. March Madness. We're gonna be doing night views I'm planning for a long time here. So for sure. But right now our final topic is the NBA. NBA opening week. We really just want to kind of touch on just you know, what stood out. Just it's only been a couple games, but first I don't have the picture ready, but shout out to your boy Dwayne Wade. Got the statue.
Yes, sir.
And what'd you think of that?
So first off, we talked about it earlier. How people they would rather troll things than enjoy the moment. And you know, the statue, I actually personally enjoy it. There's an interview with D Wade after the revealing of the statue. He actually worked with his team to create this statue. So for those of you out there saying that he looked like Thanos, the statue and all that, like I get it. It looks funny, but the meaning behind that statue is so much for the city of Miami, especially that pose where he's going like this and he's saying, "This is my house." Like, that is a legend, and he is always going to be a legend. And whenever you drive around the Kaseya Arena, Pat Riley Kaseya Arena, by the way, which a couple nights ago they officially named the Miami Heat basketball court after Pat Riley. Yeah, there's Thanos himself right here. But
I can see the Thanos. I see it.
And you know, this right here, man, this is for the city of Miami. This is finally, we have our legend up there. We give him the props he deserves. Whenever you go past this arena, you're gonna see this, and you're gonna know whose city this is and who started history. Because he mentioned in this interview, it's more than just him being, an inkling in the organization of the Heat. He created the history of the Heat. The Heat culture started with him, Udonis Haslem, Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway, and of course Pat Riley. He would always be cemented into that history with the future players who come. So that this is
Mr.
awesome.
Miami.
Exactly.
Like what they call it? What they call it? Wade County. It had another name before that, right?
It was Wade County, and then that's about it. Wade County. It was Wade County.
Wade County. Okay.
Yeah.
So
he actually has a street now. He has a street right on Biscayne Boulevard. That's literally it's I believe they call that Wade County as well. But yeah.
Okay. Got you.
Nice.
So I mean, you're talking about culture there, and like you said, the pose. Did that happen like in a game, or he does that? He used to do that in games, right?
So this was actually this was against his hometown, which is the Chicago Bulls. And this was one game where he dropped he said 48 points. It should have been 50, but he missed 2 free throws, and he had one of the games of his life. He comes in, and that's when all the hoopla with the contracts was happening and stuff like that. He jumped on the scores table, and he put his fingers up. He hit a game winner and was saying, "Yo, this is my home. Like this is my Chicago." House. It was in Miami. It was in Miami, but it was against Chicago.
Gotcha.
And he said, "This is my house." And ever since then,
that's what the stories behind it. Like I said, that's what it's about. Again, online, I just learned like it's just gonna be people. It's this negative grift that's just it's going to happen. It's going to come with the territory. I think the fans of Miami and people that's been fans of Wade and that whole generation of fans, they get it. They get what the statue is. When they unveiled the Kobe statue, I was like, Kobe's my favorite player ever, and people was like, oh, his head looks like this, and it was like the 81 point pose. I was like, I got it as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh. I was like, this is the 81 point game. Like, I know exactly what this is. So with you seeing that statue, the significance. That's really all that matters. People.
It's funny you say that though, because he's explaining like the process of, because he worked with his team and the creators who make the statue and a Chicago team, like a Chicago group out there, because he was in Chicago when they made it, and so that company is the same company that made Kobe Bryant's statue. So as Kobe Bryant's statue is being made, they're making D Wade statue. And he just mentioned on the meaning of like looking over, seeing Kobe's statue and him being there. And he's like, it's tough because I'm here critiquing. I'm trying to make this what this image is for the fans, for my family. And Kobe's not here, to do that for his statue. So just embellishing in the moment, enjoying the time. And it's just like, it's so much more than just how something looks. It's what the meaning is behind it. So it's the awesome, meaning
behind it. Yeah. Exactly. Like I said, it's for his fans, for the fans of that. And that's all that matters, overall with that. But with that being said, opening, like I said, week of the NBA, I dove into several games this week.
Yeah.
Just want to throw a few standouts to you. Again, it's too early to say, oh, this is going to be the favorite. But I want to first give props to the champs. Boston Celtics looks like the Boston Celtics, and it looks like Jason Tatum is on a mission because of the Olympic, I want to say snub, the Olympic disc. Jason Tatum's coming out hitting about 4 or 5 threes a game. Like, he looked like a man on a mission. I don't know if you caught any of his games, Carlos.
Yes, I have. I've caught pretty much every game that's been playing because I'm so excited that basketball's back. But with Boston, Tatum needs to win. If he does not win, this rift that we've talked about last when all this was going on, that rift between Jaylen Brown and Tatum, that conversation is going to be had, by Tatum. By, hey, you either choose him or you choose me, and then we're going to see the Shaq and Kobe situation where they have to split. Now, it's working now. Now. They're winning, but they got to win. And Tatum needs to win, most importantly.
I'm going to put a bold statement. We're doing very early bold statements, but this is what we do on on Night Views.
Yeah.
Tatum has to win the MVP.
Yep.
And now he has a good start right now. I'm
Yep.
gonna give him credit. He's coming out balling. He has to win the MVP. The Celtics have to contend again. He may have to win another championship this year and be the Finals MVP. He probably has to do all that this year to just side because I'm looking. Tatum's coming out, and I dare not compare anyone to Black Mamba. But all I'm saying is that Tatum, he does have a different look in his eye.
He's more not just aggressive, but he's not hesitating as much as what he was before. Before it was more like, I got to get my guys going, let Jaylen Brown take over. No.
F that.
He's taking over. Yeah.
You come out and you set the tone every game because Jaylen Brown, he's over there chilling like, hey, I already got an MVP, Finals MVP. I'm just out here
got
playing.
The baddest chick,
you know what I'm saying? He is not worried. Like, and Tatum will never have that piece until he gets an MVP and a Finals. And again, he has to win the regular season MVP. Tatum has to, or at least be like strongly considered best player in the league. Now, right now, again, it's only 3 games, but he's averaging 33 points, nearly 50% 3-point shooting, 55% shooting on the ground, 2-point, 6-6, right? So that's a great start. You got, Embiid sitting out. Giannis is you just bake in Giannis 28-15. He's going to get that this year.
I think with the Bucks, with the Bucks, it's all about having Damian Lillard buy in. Damian Lillard is playing basketball right now, but he's not bought into the system of the Bucks. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to leave. He said it multiple times. He's not happy there. But until he buys in and just plays ball and focuses on playing ball there, they might have a chance to actually make some noise. But
so Lillard, and again, I don't put too much stock in early games, but Lillard and the Bucks, they came out. They're trying to do their thing early in this season. They're 1-2. He's averaging 26, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. That's standard Lillard, but only 32% shooting 3. Again, just 3 games.
Yeah,
but his shooting. This isn't Portland Dame yet, and I don't know if we'll ever get that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's probably like a year younger than Steph. Lillard's not a young player anymore.
No.
So Steph's 36. Lillard's probably like 34. So you're not getting Portland Dame. So
and especially with those ages of players, it's hard when you're at a place and you don't want to be. It's hard to lock in and to get there. You can't just. It's not like he's a rookie coming out of college, and he's gonna go play ball and that's it. No, he has a lot of things in his mind. He's living on his own. He went through a divorce. He's been through a lot, and now he's trying to just shift it over and play ball. And it's just like at that moment, at that age in his life, we've seen how it affects players. So
yeah. I think they're going to need. They're a player away. I think the Bucks. Giannis is young. You already know what you're going to get with Giannis, but
yeah,
they're like some shooters away or something. Maybe this experiment wasn't really worth it. Getting rid of Drew Holiday and mixing up the chemistry.
Yeah,
for a Dame that's not really like Dame would have worked perfectly with your Heat because you wouldn't.
That's where he wanted to go. That's where he wanted to go.
Work perfectly, but that's just how that fell. Overall. So, but like I said, I enjoy watching the Bucks because, like I said, Giannis is always exciting to watch.
I will throw out there, and again, this is early. We're just gonna. I'm throwing bold statements out there. A sleeper in the East, from what I've seen so far, is the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic. I don't know what they did over the summer, but they look hungry. They're a young team. They look hungry. All y'all need to be careful with that team. Everybody thought it was gonna be the Knicks. It's definitely not the Knicks. It's that Orlando Magic team. Pablo Banchero, that Wagner. You got Caldwell Pope returning back to the Magic. Man,
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see with Orlando. I mean, they let's see. We got them on the screen. Yeah, they were 2-1. I think they just lost to the Grizzlies or somebody like that.
Yeah.
But again, early on, but you have Pablo, as you mentioned, Banchero. And then they got all these young pieces around him, which is interesting. We'll see how that kind of. I think they got KCP, but I don't know how much he has left in the tank there. But
yeah, it's a good veteran piece to have on the bench, though.
I look at them the way their team is constructed. Franz Wagner, he's a scorer, and you got Suggs. They may want to like package a couple of these other because I think Banchero needs like a true, like either a big man down there or a true point guard. Just another kind of star. It's almost like how OKC was kind of coming together, and you need someone like emerge. You know what I'm saying? That's what they need.
They with them. I mean, I guess this is their mindset. They feel like Suggs is that point guard for them because I mean they just paid him a big contract or extension. So maybe, but I mean, they just mesh well together. And they got that Jonathan Isaac back from that injury. He's healthy. Suggs, he's playing.
Suggs, you mentioned he's getting 14 points again early in the season, folks. But 14 points a game. I mentioned Franz Wagner, 25 points, and he got his brother, the other Wagner. He's getting 11 points. It's just there's a lot of pieces. Gary Harris, we've seen him play at KCP. I just feel if Suggs steps up, great. Obviously, you give it a couple months. But around Christmas time, if Suggs isn't like averaging, 15 to 18 points, you may want to package some of these players and go get like a veteran or do something with that.
You know who would work good on this team? You make it a homecoming. Aaron Gordon, bringing him back to play with them. I think that'll be a nice little piece for them because they give him size. He can shoot. I'll definitely rebound the ball. So yeah,
that's a team. I mean, they're fun to watch because, like I said, it's a collective effort every game.
Yeah.
And I think Banchero is that good, but just we'll see if Suggs steps up. I'll be actually looking for that more when I watch him. Now, another team that had a lot of hoopla, the New York Knicks. The team made the big trade.
We talked about this, man. We talked about this.
Now, I was in favor of the trade.
I definitely wasn't.
Did you catch any of the games, and how do you think they look right now?
I definitely caught the games because I needed to see this for myself, and I needed to prove to myself that like I wasn't tripping. Towns is not a true big man, and it bothers me to even say that because of his size. And he would rather I literally watched this man in the game, right? They had 3 offensive possessions off of a rebound. They shot the ball, got the ball back. Towns got 2 of those rebounds. This man was under the rim. You know what his first situation was to do? It wasn't let me go get the and one, let me get a layup as a big man. No, it was let me dribble all the way back to the 3-point line and shoot the 3-point. Mind you, I understand I'm a shooter myself. As a guy who shoots like Karl-Anthony Towns, yes, you do want him shooting the ball, but you do not want him shooting a 3-pointer every single time. That's not his position. That's not his game. Like I personally do not, and I just feel like with this move, the mesh that they had last season, because last season, if you were, let's say you kept the team you had and then you added a piece like a Karl-Anthony Towns with the team they had last season, that's great. What they did, they gutted that momentum, that team bonding. I mean, you had your college team back together, and it's broken now. It doesn't. Bridges looks like he can't shoot anything. Like I don't know what's going on with him. Brunson is your go-to guy. Obviously, he's gonna put up his points. It's just a matter of the others. And that's all I got on that with them.
And you're not really convinced with the others. I mean, I look at it like the way. I mean, again, it's only 2 games for them so far. They only played 2 games, but with Brunson's going to be your star, your focal point of the team. Mikal Bridges, they said something like he changed his form in shooting, which is you really shouldn't do that. You should never change your form like after so many years. Like probably like one time early.
Yeah.
And then you don't do this as like a veteran. You don't change your form.
But that to me is your shooting coach. As a person who plays basketball, a shooting coach, you have some that can coach every type of player who shoots a ball. And then you have some that if you don't do the way that they say it, they're going to make you change the way you shoot the ball and train you that way. And that can hinder a player or make him a better shooter. And in this case, the way his, Bridges' form is, that's just not working, dude. Go back to what you know. Keep it going. You went off in Brooklyn playing that way. Why would you try to change that? It's a lot of momentum changes, man. I don't.
That was a weird decision there. Like that first game against the Celtics, I was like, I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to see like, okay, Knicks, you got your squad, Brunson. You got some more weapons.
Yeah,
you're going to the champs. At least just put up a fight, and the game was over by like second quarter. It was just kind of embarrassing. But the way the team is laid out now, again, Mikal Bridges, I think he'll settle in and be that glue guy. I think he can, do a lot of things on the floor. Karl Anthony Towns, I think this is perfect. Again, 2-game sample size, 16 and 11. I'd say cool. I really have no problem with actually how Cat is playing right now, and maybe he shouldn't be dependent on being a true number 2. Maybe he's a third or fourth option.
That you hit it on the nose there, and I feel like that is what they're trying to make him. And it's like Malik Bridges should be your number 2 guy, I believe, or Anunoby should be your number 2 guy.
So this is my problem with Anunoby. Are you paying? He got this crazy extension. He's getting $40 million a year now. 2 games, he's averaging 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal. $40 million. Are you going to draw some plays up for him?
But then again, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about coaching here because when he's on the floor and he gets the ball, he executes, he delivers. But most of the time, now you're more focused on that number 2 guy who in their minds, they think it's Karl Anthony Towns. So you're drawing more plays towards him. What's Karl Anthony Towns going to do? He's going to stand at the 3 or he's going to go at that elbow, push down.
I think that's just what he's going to be. Yeah, I just think that's what Cat's going to be. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, he's going to stretch the floor, big man. Mikal Bridges has to definitely continue to show up. OG Anunoby, I don't know why you paid him unless you want to move him. I don't get how to use the construction of this team because Josh Hart's a garbage guy. He does everything. I don't mean like garbage. Like he
I feel like the Udonis Haslem of the Heat. Like he's out there. He's doing all the dirty
Josh Hart,
plays.
he's an energy guy. That's what I should say. Josh Hart's an energy guy. He's getting rebounds. He can sometimes hit shots, plays defense. Energy. Miles McBride, low key, like he's like it's probably 6th man of the year. Miles McBride, he looked 100% coming off the bench. So just the way this team's constructed, I don't know what Anunoby's going to be. I'm kind of confused.
I think if that trade was dealt differently, and I can't believe I'm going to say this because I am not a fan of this guy, but of his play, not him personally, of how he plays. I think the Knicks should have kept Randall, and they should have shipped off Anunoby and DiVincenzo to the Wolves. I think that would have worked a lot better because you will still have that big man where. Now Cat doesn't really have to be the guy at the elbow. He could be the guy he wants to be, which is, spot up at the 3-point line, shoot threes. Because you got Randall who's going to be down there doing all the dirty work down there. That's what he did last season when he was healthy, and it worked for the Knicks. So I think getting rid of Randall for the Knicks was not a smart move.
So you think, it wasn't smart for because I think, maybe it wasn't smart. We'll see. We'll see how the team is constructed. But I do like Randall on the T-Wolves. And so let's shift to the T-Wolves here.
Yeah.
Again, 3 games, 2-1. the first game, that first game, everyone's trying to fill everything out. It wasn't really their best game, against my Lakers, but we got the win with that. But as constructed, did you catch Randall as far as how he played with the T-Wolves? What did you see with that?
Yeah, I saw his air balls. I saw that. I saw him getting some looks out there. I know I talk a lot of smack about Randall. He's gonna be good with the Timberwolves. I just think that team, for what you needed it to be, I think they downgraded by losing a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, because your main focus is Anthony Edwards, and I don't see Anthony Edwards waking up and being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go play with DiVincenzo and Jalen and Julius Randle. Let's go. We're gonna go win a championship." I mean, mind you, you're in the locker room. You're the guy, so everybody's looking at you. You're gonna be happy or whatnot. You're gonna pretend to be, if anything. But I just don't see them. That wasn't a move to get him over the hump. And towards the Knicks area, I don't see that being that next level hump either. But I guess
with the
we have to
Knicks,
see.
I think the Knicks, it's something they got to do with the construction of that team. I still don't like how that's meshing, but with the T-Wolves, I think personally, I like what I saw with Randall. I caught some of the games. They got this free trial of the league pass, so I got a chance to watch some out of market games, and I like just the energy Randall, but like the energy you said the Knicks need. I like what he's doing with the T-Wolves now. In 3 games, was he 24? He got 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He can stretch the floor. He still plays kind of wild. That's just him, I guess. Yeah. But that with Anthony Edwards and DiVincenzo, I think that's where the Knicks messed up at.
Yeah.
If you want to swap Cat and Randall and like some contracts or some picks or whatever, but for
100%.
the Knicks to throw in DiVincenzo, I think that's what made the T-Wolves win this trade, because DiVincenzo, he's playing like he's with Golden State again. I mean, he's getting about 12 points a game. He's stretching the floor, shooting threes. I think the T-Wolves made out better. I think they did.
I think there was more to that trade being done than what we really know behind the scenes with the Knicks. When they first met up, when they played against the Knicks, the Wolves, there was a confrontation between DiVincenzo and Jalen Brunson's father. He's part of the organization and stuff like that. So I think there was something going on behind the scenes. I didn't really look into it that much because I really didn't care for it as much. But
they shipped him on out.
Yeah, exactly. Because he didn't want to leave. I know that was a rumor going around. He didn't want to leave. So that's
like I said, I think the T-Wolves, I think they made out with that. I think the Knicks, I don't know. We'll see how they come together. Also, opening week, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Bronny moment came and went. They had the Griffies, which I thought was really cool to actually see Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. at the game. That was cool because they did it organically when Ken Griffey came into the league, and all I say with the Lakers, first off, basketball first. Hey, 3-0 early in the year. I do like JJ Redick. This is coming from a Lakers fan here. I actually like how JJ Redick is working LeBron's minutes. This is something I thought LeBron would kind of rein himself in the last couple of years, and he just kept shooting and shooting because you want to go through Anthony Davis. AD is the best player on the Lakers. So you want to actually go through him. LeBron, I'd rather LeBron average about 16, 18 points a game. Like, I don't want him shooting too much. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like JJ Redick is like, okay, we're going to control his minutes and then let him go in spurts. I think that's perfect. And so, again, they beat a couple good teams to start the year. So that's one thing. Yeah. Now, the circus, bringing in Bronny, I don't know. I mean, they had their moment. I'm not that mad. I saw people a little bit too upset about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you
it was kind of crazy. I mean, me personally, I think the best way JJ Redick handled this was get it out the way now. Get it out the way now. Put him on the floor. It's not a thing that's going to be lingering the whole season of, are they going to play? It already happened. He played 3 minutes with his dad on the NBA floor. It was a big night. All right, now focus ahead. And I think that actually rejuvenated LeBron into playing how he's been playing these last couple nights, because he got what he wanted. He got to play with his son, and you know, with all the haters out there, it is what it is. Like, yeah, Bronny's definitely should not have been drafted at that level, whatever it is, what it is.
Right.
It happened. We're here. It's cool to see a father and a son play together. You know?
I wasn't like, because I see people still. I understood like when it was draft time and it was like a hot story, and it's like, okay, I don't want my team to be a circus. That's what I said from day one. We did an early show on this. I was like, okay, are we throwing the season away just for a moment? But then now you see overall, okay, they actually reined LeBron back, gave him what he wanted. Hey, okay, we'll draft your son. Now follow the program, okay? And maybe this will work. Maybe
one thing that JJ Redick, and shout out to JJ, I really do like how he's coaching this team. It's giving me Pat Riley when he first came into the Lakers organization as a coach, a young coach, you know, player coach type of thing.
Right.
What a lot of people aren't noticing what's happening is with this whole hoopla of Bronny James Jr., the real draft pick of you guys, I forget his name,
Connect. Yeah.
All the pressure that he should be getting on a team like the Lakers, he has no pressure. And this kid is, when I say balling,
he's balling.
He's out. But why is that? Because how JJ Redick is running this team. So all the focus is on this whole hoopla, because now you got Bronny going to G League. So now all that's all that is moving. So now all of a sudden you got Connect coming out, and he's just gonna start lighting up, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, I totally forgot about this guy.
Yeah, Dalton Connect was a steal in the draft. Like people was like, it was no reason the Lakers should have gotten him like in the teens, I guess, with their first pick. Again, 3 games, he's averaging 7 points a game, over 40% shooting in threes. He has a lot of energy. He's athletic. Like, this is a lottery player.
Yeah.
And you put him in a situation, like you said, all the types, LeBron, Bronny, new coach. All you got to do is relax and just ball. And he's showing it, man. Like, this dude, if
I could be any rookie in the NBA, I would be him. I would be him, because he's literally like, it's made for him right now. He has an open lane to do what he has to do. Just go out there and ball.
He's just a good example of like a modern player as far as how he plays, shooting the three. Again, athletic. He's 6'6", so he has a good wingspan. I'm really excited with that pick right there for them. And like I said, no pressure. So we'll see how the Lakers kind of come together for that. Not surprised seeing OKC. A lot of people are excited about SGA. They got Caruso. OKC's doing their thing. Golden State. Did you catch any of the Golden State games? And everyone says the end of a run, right? But what do you think?
Honestly, man, I don't know how they pull this off, but freaking Buddy Hield and Kuminga, all I got to do is clap for them boys, because they prove like, Clay's gone, but we're here now, and all Steph got to do is shoot the damn ball now, And they somehow managed to rein in Draymond Green. You haven't heard anything in the media about him. Like, to me, that's a plus in its own. They seem very locked in, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors, show up and be contenders this year.
I wonder if they are, if Kuminga, and that's like we said with the Magic, if Suggs steps up. If Kuminga steps up for the Warriors, then that's your other guy. Like Buddy Hield, like as it's showing here, I don't think it has today's numbers. They just played today, but he was getting 24 points a game the first couple of games. But so if he's going to be like a solid contributor, Steph is Steph. Then you're looking for Wiggins, Kuminga, to fill some kind of role, because if they don't, then I think you got to get another piece. You got to ship out something. I think with this team. So we'll see how they kind of come together.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Wiggins and Moody trade, for someone out there,
just to get another piece. You give it to like Christmas time, and then if it's not coming and meshing, like you wanted to. If people aren't taking the leaps that you want them to, then you do got to shake it up. So, so we'll see.
Kuminga had 12 points today. Wiggins actually had 29.
Yeah, and it's about consistency. Like, you know, are they going to? Is Wiggins going to step up like this? Because I remember 2 seasons ago, after they won the championship, now I know it's personal reasons, but he took half the year off.
Yeah,
and then when he came back, his head wasn't in the game. And again, I don't, you know, I'm not into the personal stuff with him, but all I'm saying is that, you know, you are paid to do this, right? And
yeah, it's part of your job.
Are you going to be consistent? Because if you're not going to be consistent, you know, they need someone to fill that void of Clay missing. You know, and they never should have got rid of Jordan Poole. I think people are realizing that they probably should have kept him because he was up next. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you say that because speaking of, like, so seeing here, Buddy Hield only had 8 points today. So you see, it's that consistency factor is what's you know, hindering them. So
yeah. So those pieces, like I said, I'm looking at Wiggins, like it's because, you know, these teams don't stay the same no more with the NBA. So I see a future move probably happening with the Warriors as well. Now another team, I definitely it's must see. Certain players is must see TV to me.
Yeah.
Obviously when Steph gets going, and I like, you know, Giannis and players like that, but Ja Morant. It was really good to see Ja Morant.
Oh man, it's so nice.
And the rookie Zach Edey out there.
He looks good, man. He looks good out there.
Yeah, did you check out any of their games?
Yeah, man. He, like I said, like, he looks good out there. It was I was wondering how he was gonna fit, you know, not being able to play in the preseason because of his injury. You know, they really focused on getting him healthy for the real season. And dude, he looks like he looks like a baby Marc Gasol when he was on the you know, when he was on the Grizzlies. Yeah, man. And it's good to see, like, the league doesn't have that anymore. They don't have a true big man. You know, and you know, with even with my Heat, you know, we got Kelly Ware right now. That big man game is coming back. You know, it's coming back. So it was nice to see. It was nice to see.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, like I said, that's a team. I try to catch. Ja Morant does something crazy like every quarter, at any moment. So I'm keeping my eye on the Grizzlies now. We'll see how that shakes out in the West because it's pretty competitive, and I wonder if they have enough shooting. So again, it's about building around Ja. Now he's missed so much time. I think these first couple of months is like, okay, well, you know, let's play
get him back
out.
In the flow of things.
Got the big man. You got Jaren Jackson now at the 4, which is interesting. I want to see how he evolves, you know, because he's not a back to the basket type of guy.
Right.
Lead that to Zach Edey, you know. So they brewing something in Memphis. I want to see.
It's nice. It's nice, man. It's exciting.
I want to see how that comes together. Now, another team. I don't know if they're really brewing. I don't know what I'm getting with the Phoenix Suns. It's a weird feeling watching them. I'm a huge fan of KD. KD is a legend, future Hall of Famer. You know, he played great in the Olympics. Like he's still a bucket. Like you give it to KD, he's gonna give you a bucket. But I don't know if it's like a leadership thing or Devin Booker. I'm just tired of seeing his face. I don't know. I don't know. Bradley Beal is kind of. I don't know why they even together. Bradley Beal and Booker, but I just don't know what I'm getting with the Phoenix Suns, Colin. Have you watched any of their games opening week?
That I only saw one, and I didn't see the whole thing. I with that team, it's a team that just doesn't make sense together. Like I just don't get it. And the thing is that, like, individually, they are stars. They are, like, you know, they are good, but just together, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, what are we doing? Like, KD's just out here balling. You know, he's just like, hey, I'm gonna come home, you know, go to work, go play some basketball. Right. Devin Booker trying to be the baby face assassin, I guess. I don't know what to call him.
He's definitely not.
You know, and then you got freaking Beal doing podcasting, playing, and then you're just like, what's going on?
I don't know. Like, this team is tough because it's not like you say, okay, pick one and build around them. Because, like, obviously we will automatically say, okay, build around KD, right?
Yeah.
But he, you know, you kind of can't anymore. KD, I'm trying to say the best way again, like, at this stage in his career, KD should be like in LeBron's type of situation, like with an AD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what KD shouldn't be your first option anymore. Actually, I don't think. He is
Here's the
what he
thing.
is.
KD's best definition of what he should be on a team is what he was with the Warriors, because many would say, "Oh, he was number one." If you really look on how that team was constructed, he was not the number one player. Mind you, he did get most of the shots, but that was because he was open. The ball got to him. The number one player who was getting plays drawn up for him, and it was Seth Curry. Steph Curry had that ball. He was the one who got Clay going. He was the one who got Draymond going. And he was the one who got the wide open Kevin Durant going. So that's where he's mostly excels. If they can do something to where, like, Devin is a guy you're running the ball through, or even Beal, and then you just find KD, you will have nothing wrong like going on, because you have one of the best scorers in the NBA scoring, you know?
It's just this team, they're kind of stuck with this team because I said last year, I was like, well, these three really don't work together. I would trade Booker, but they're not going to do it. Right. No one wants to take Bill's contract, and you don't trade KD. You keep KD.
Never. Unless he said, I want to go.
Well, he has a history of that, right? But it's like, so if they're committed to Booker and they're committed to this team, it's like I just see them. They're going to be a playoff team, and get bounced early. Like
the chips need to fall for them to make that. They like you said, they'll make the playoffs, but everything needs to fall in line perfectly. Like players need to get hurt, other teams need to be injured for them to be like, okay, we're making a run, because that's the only way I could see that happen.
I just don't know what they're trying to be. And like I said, it feels redundant having Bill and Booker. Yeah. It's just like
you have the same position, the same player.
Yeah. And when one has the balls, like the other one just spotting up, like, hey, at least with KD, okay, post them up, or something like that, run some action with KD. You can't do that with Booker or Bill. I'm
gonna be honest. If the Suns would have kept Chris Paul, you had Chris Paul, KD, and even Booker. I think that would have worked better than what they have now. But
yeah, I would rather like a star point guard over Bradley Beal. If there's some way, and again, they can't trade it. No one wants to take his contract, Bill's contract. Yeah. So they're stuck. But I still think, like, and that's why I would have traded Booker. I really would have traded Booker, and I don't know, just see if I can get like a star point guard. So you have these roles defined. I don't know what they are, but I mean, I'll watch their games because, like, I'm a fan of KD. So
right.
That. But another team that kind of caught my eye was not really caught my eye. I'm kind of looking at the construction of this team as well too, in a weird way. The Pelicans. I'm like, it's just really, let's just keep it real with the Pelicans. Is Zion, is he going to be that defining player or not? They have to find it out this year, because it may be time to blow up this team, to be quite honest.
I think with this team, what the main story is this season is actually the movement and where the landing spot is going to be for Brandon Ingram, because I believe the Pelicans have invested so much money on Zion, you can't get rid of him at this point. You can't. Whether it's all the training, from all the injuries, Brandon Ingram is still balling. Like, rightfully, 27 points. He can be that extra piece to any other team who's trying to make a run. Call up the Miami Heat. I would like him on the Heat. But I think before trade deadline ends, we would have to see where Brandon is going to go. I think that's what
I think it's blow up time. Yeah, it's blow up time for this team. I mean, you got the aging CJ McCollum.
Yeah,
you got some young pieces. Now they got DeJounte Murray, but he broke his hand first game of the season.
Yeah,
but I didn't even see how he fit. You know what I mean? It's like I hate these teams where it's like you got these pieces, and it's like DeJounte Murray, he's not. I don't trust him to be like a shooter. So he needs the ball, right? But Brandon Ingram needs the ball. And then Zion Williamson needs the ball. So why do you have DeJounte Murray on this team?
I feel like with this team, and here's the thing. Like, let's say you do make that trade, with Ingram, and you do get a solid point guard out there, then Javonte Murray becomes that player where you're like, okay, now this makes sense
He'd be like
because
an off guard.
off guard type of thing. He does have the ball in his hand sometimes, but now you have a 3-way thing where you have a main point guard. You have Javonte Murray, then you got Zion down low. Even if it's a veteran point guard, and not many people like him, but I would even try to make something happen with Brandon Ingram, not Brandon Ingram, Michael Conley, like a player like that type of caliber.
Because I would say too, because watching the T-Wolves, it does look like Conley's kind of like
just
out
there.
of the mix on that team now. Yeah. It kind of started last year, but in the playoffs, he was stepping up as a veteran, but it may be a move there because it just may be a move there. But with the Pelicans, as constructed, if Ingram wants to get paid, they don't want to extend him, so he's going to get traded, right?
Yeah.
So it's about what you get back. You got to get a ball handler back and some more shooting, probably, because you're building around Zion. And like I said, is he going to be that guy?
Yeah,
that you could build a franchise around. Is he going to be reliable? That's the question.
One player that's actually in talks right now, that they're not extending him, and he doesn't want to be there anymore, is Fox. So that would be a nice pickup for them to have in the point guard.
De'Aaron Fox?
Yes, I
De'Aaron
believe
Fox from the Kings. They're talking
about. Is he in Utah? I think he's in Utah now. Is he in Utah?
Which Fox are you talking about?
Yeah,
De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, he's the Sacramento Kings.
Okay, so then am I thinking of? No, so yes, so it is. So yeah, okay, my bad. I'm confusing him with Sexton, but no, yeah, Fox. Okay. Fox, I believe, is in talks for being traded right now. Which the Kings right now. I mean, yes, they are 0-2, but what they were able to pick up with DeMar DeRozan this offseason, I thought it was a nice pickup, especially having Sabonis on there.
And they actually looked pretty good. So I caught that last game against the Lakers, and LeBron actually snapped and went off in that game, which was actually a good performance there. But the Kings, before that, the Kings was looking pretty good with DeRozan, and I don't know what that meant getting DeRozan, because it's like, well,
yeah,
he's kind of like a mid-range player, but he's extended his three. I mean, DeRozan's a bucket as well. Like, I definitely respect his game. But De'Aaron Fox, if they're not committing to him, he's like one of them scoring point guards. So I just wonder what a team, like, how would you kind of fit that? Like, I guess he could work like with a Zion or
pick and roll action type of thing.
Yeah. Then they're not going to invest in them, yeah.
Because, I mean, you got to think about it too. When you have Devontae Murray, so he was balling out with
the Hawks last year.
The Hawks with Trae Young. Mm-hmm. So, and he's a scoring point guard. I feel like Fox is more physical than what Trae Young is, especially driving into the paint. You give him that pick and roll. That could be a landing spot. Maybe in a 3-team trade, not having Brandon Ingram go there, because you have already a lot of bigs over there in Sacramento. So
yeah, that'd be interesting, man. I'm sure people are going to be looking, trying to figure out how to get Brandon Ingram. He could be like that again, not the focal point player. He doesn't have to be that,
right?
But like that number 2 guy, where it's like, okay, I mean, he kind of built like Durant. Brandon Ingram is, he's a bucket as well. It's just he's got to get on a good team or a complete team.
A team. I don't know how you would feel about this, but you're the sister team of the Lakers, the Clippers. That could be a nice landing spot.
The Clippers need all kinds of the Clippers, man. I see why Paul George has easily left them. Because it's like you can't. Again, just how you construct these teams. Like I don't need the Clippers, man. I don't know, but
everybody trying to be a big 3 team.
That's not that doesn't work for everybody. Exactly. But another team that I definitely enjoyed watching this first opening week of the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks. Just something feels just so right by getting Klay Thompson.
Oof.
He plays his first game with Dallas and breaks the franchise record for 3-pointers made in a debut for the Mavericks. He got 6. He looks like Klay Thompson.
Yep.
He You got Luka. He's going to dominate the ball. Everyone knows how this goes by now with this Mavericks team. It's Luka's team. When they start trying to roll too much at Luka, Kyrie bail me out here. Kyrie can give you about 10, 15 minute spurts. And wide open the whole time is Clay. Clay just sitting there just wide open. I like the bigs they got. They got two good centers, Lively and Gafford. That's a really good, rotation, Twin Towers. PJ Washington. Yeah, PJ Washington is a solid role player. He knows his role. This is what I'm talking about. Construction teams.
Yeah.
The Mavericks, they get it, how they got their team constructed. And I said they're my early favorite, actually. I like Minnesota, but I like the Mavericks as well, too. Did you catch any of their games?
Yeah. And I know it's funny we keep going back to it, or I keep going back to it, but I would actually like to see a Brandon Ingram in that constructed Dallas team.
I want to say because Luka has the ball so much, like that would kind of like Kyrie can adjust to that. He's adjusted to Luka, but I don't know about that for Ingram. This is my opinion. I don't.
Yeah, I just think having him at a 4 spot. Luka gets the ball moving, so I mean, it's not like he isn't gonna get the ball. Obviously, it won't be running through him. I don't see that if that were to happen. But just for what they have right now, I think Luka's on another planet right now, man. The way he's sharing that ball around, he had that one pass, no look behind the back, driving to the lane. Oh man, yeah, it's always. But this is what the Mavs are. They're fun to look at. It's just when are they gonna give us that run again? Are they gonna go all the way?
Well, I see no reason why not. You know what I mean? Because the team, and that's why I'm real big on the construction of the team, and they have everything. They got
even Lively being healthy.
Yeah, Lively, like I said, he can come off the bench or he can start. Like they got two centers. Yeah. Like I said, PJ Washington, he knows like he's not the man. Just bring energy, shoot threes, play defense. Like that's perfect. Kyrie, he's not Cleveland Kyrie, right? This ain't the same. This ain't this. We learned that in the finals last year. Okay, he's not that same guy anymore. But okay, Kyrie still could break you down now. And then you got Clay just spotting up. Like just every play, like
that
Clay's
was
like,
a humongous move for them. You gave them that solid shooter, and that's really what they needed. And you mentioned Kyrie not being that Cleveland. I feel like that's what makes it work because Kyrie doesn't need to be that anymore.
He doesn't have to be, right?
Exactly.
It fits this team.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm really high on the Mavericks. And like I said, just it's early in the season, but when we get closer to like playoffs and stuff like that, I think they're going to really be rising up in the rankings there overall. The next team here, the Spurs. We're not going to take it easy on some of these players, man. Like Victor Wembanyama, for all the hype of a rookie year, right? He played like it was. He gave us a lot of spurts in the rookie year.
Yeah.
And it's like he's a unicorn, an alien, and all this stuff. It's like, okay, that's cool. Like now this is year 2. You got some quality veterans on this team. I like that they got Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul. That's perfect.
Yep,
and then you got all this young talent, which again, what was in the NBA? These teams ain't gonna stay the same, y'all. So they're gonna be packaging some of these dudes, to add to this team. Wembanyama, I saw just too many times. I saw this last year early on in particularly spurts where he's not aggressive enough. And I don't know if that's that France style of ball or something like, but it's just like, bro, you are 7'5".
Yeah.
You can shoot over anyone. You hopefully he's been working on his base, like because he should be able to post up anyone. I don't want to see Dylan Brooks punking you.
Yeah.
Wembanyama. Like that makes no sense. You're a foot taller than that dude.
And then to add more fuel to the fire, you got Chris Paul coming over here, which as a veteran, he should, but
solid.
When Chris Paul is the one fighting for your big center,
But I really like the veteran. I think they're going to need like more because if you're talking about making at least a play-in run with this Spurs team, you should get over 30 wins at least or something, or close to 40. So if you want to make that run, I think, like I said, you may have to package some of these guys, keep your veteran leadership, probably get like another like scoring two guard, just someone that could work with Chris Paul. Because again, it's about construction of the roster. But as far as Wembanyama, I'm just saying, like, what's stopping you from getting 30 and 20 a game? Like, really, you're 7'5", bro. You have all this talent, and I just see him. It was too many times the last game. He drives to the basket and he's like dumping it off. I'm like, bro,
go up, dunk that shit.
You should dunk every time. You should be dunking on everyone. And that's maybe the downfall where it's just either you got it or you don't, man. I mean, you got the talent, you got the hype and everything. I see Chet Holmgren playing more aggressive this year.
But here's one thing with Chet Holmgren. He was working this offseason, man. He was you can see the work because with Wembanyama, exactly. With Wembanyama, not to say he didn't work because we saw him play, overseas and during the Olympic time, but you're coming from a different style play league. You can't keep training that same way. Like if I was Wembanyama, I'm calling Giannis's trainer. And I'm training like Giannis because when Giannis first started in the league, he looked like Wemby. And then it was 2-3 years after that he just all of a sudden he looked like freaking the Greek god. So I'm
he's the Giannis we know now. That he guaranteed 28, 15 a night.
Right. But people forget that he first came into the league looking like Wemby. So if I'm Wemby's crew, I'm telling him, yo, call that guy and train with that guy.
That's a good point. Because, Giannis, I think, like, his first year, he only averaged, like, 5 points or something. Like, he was just this, yangly looking dude.
He was Giannis's brother,
Yeah, he was the Nassus. Yeah.
The Nassus,
And then he became the Greek freak. And with Giannis, though, it's that effort. And that's what I'm saying with Wemby. It's like, bro, like I said, it's in spurts. Sometimes he gets it.
Yeah.
But it's like either you got it or you don't, bro. And that's why we compare him to Chet Holmgren so much because, they're both lanky, 7'3" plus guys or whatever. I think Holmgren's 7'2", but he plays like a guard. But I see Chet being aggressive, going after rebounds more, dunking on people.
Yeah, he isn't afraid to get dirty.
That's going to take OKC because at first with OKC, I was like, okay, SGA, we know SGA, that's MVP quality.
Right.
He's going to give you all the stats, that you want. What about these other guys? Like, what's going to make OKC, like in the playoffs, the Mavericks, all they knew, just around SGA. We could take him out in 5-6 games, Now, if Chet's going to be coming in like nasty like that, now, OKC's a problem. Now, with Wemby, if the switch goes off, this can be a scary team just with him. But I just seen too many times. It's only been 2 games. I'm not satisfied yet. I know he tried to flex one time and stuff. I'm like, no, bro. Every game.
That's gonna go down to the veterans, and I feel like Chris Paul being the player that he is, and we've seen this. He's brought. We speak of OKC when Chris Paul was in OKC. What he brought out of that young squad, he's gonna bring that out of Wemby. But it's just like you said, it's a matter of. Give it 5 games. Give it 5 games. We're gonna start seeing Chris take over.
I'll say this, like with Chris Paul, like you make a good point with OKC. I mean, he was there. SGA just got there, and they got Chris Paul, and they went to the playoffs. Like he mentored SGA. Yeah. Then when he left, and SGA, became now everyone knows those letters now. So it's like Chris Paul can do that, and even with the Suns wasn't doing nothing until Chris Paul went there.
Yep.
And then they figured out their mojo there. So Chris Paul is proven. That's why he keeps getting these contracts, right? He may not be winning, but he can at least help, And so he's going to be in Wemby's ear. I'm just saying, like, this guy be consistent because right now Chet looks like the better linky player.
Oh yeah,
than Wemby. You know what I'm saying? That it just does right now. But we'll see. Again, team construction. Give it to Christmas. and we'll see with that. Now, a last team I want to highlight before we close this one out is really kind of putting on my alerts for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of their games. They played the Clippers, who all they got is James Harden.
Yeah.
And the Clippers was running up and down the court on the Nuggets. They were getting any shot they wanted. Jamal Murray looks like, he's not even an all-star level. So it's like in their pieces, again, they had the perfect structure for their team 2 years ago when they had KCP, they had Bruce Brown coming off the bench. Yeah. Everyone kind of knew their roles. Now, a couple years later, Michael Porter Jr. hasn't progressed at all. Like, I don't know what is he supposed to be. Aaron Gordon's an energy guy. He'd do that on any team. And I mean, Jokic has to do everything right now. And they're 0-2. Yes, it's early, but just if you catch any of the Nuggets games, I'm like, okay, this is not championship level. I don't know. Have you seen any of their games?
Yeah, and to add to that, Jamal Murray, man, like he's not the champion that we know him to be anymore. Like, he's not showing us that anymore. Like, now there's times when I would rather Westbrook be on the floor than him, because he's not really showing him, out there what he was a couple years ago. And I know Westbrook gets a lot of slack, but I know he's only averaging about 4 points or whatnot. But he's a big piece that, if utilized correctly in this squad, can make a difference. But
Russell's an energy guy. I definitely no slander for Russell Westbrook. He knows his role now too. Is going to be that energy guy.
Yeah,
Jamal Murray shooting 39%. He's disappearing in the offense. It's just if you saw that T-Wolf series last season, that's what Jamal Murray is now. He just disappears.
Yeah, and then he'll come in one game. Yeah, he'll come in one game, drop 20 points and stuff like that. But that's not going to get it done. And then the thing
consistent.
is, Jokic, he's such a great player. And I understand that a lot of the craziness that he does on the floor, it takes away from other players, like from seeing what they're doing. But it's becoming noticeable that, like, this team is literally, if Jokic is having a bad night, it's over. It's done.
Oh, for sure. No, Jokic has to do everything. Like, this last game, I think Jokic ended up hitting like 6 or 7 threes. Like, he was trying to keep
crazy to me. Yeah. It's crazy.
Jokic is, just like, we say Giannis is proven. Jokic obviously is proven. So far, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, basically, if you round it up, a block and 2 steals a game. That's what Jokic is going to give you. I think he needs some new running mates, because I mentioned Michael Porter Jr. This dude, he's shooting 30% from the field. He's shooting 18% from 3.
He's robbing the Denver Nuggets. He's robbing the Denver Nuggets.
It's like,
robbing them.
What can I do with this? If you look at the points here, again, Jokic 28, so he's carrying the team. Jamal Murray should be at 20, 25. And then next is Christian Braun. Like, this is
I see
this team is not even probably playoff level right now.
There's gonna be some moves with this team. I can see them shipping out some people. Hey, maybe it's a 3-team trade with the Spurs and the Pelicans. Have Brandon Ingram come over here or something. I don't know, but I could see.
I would like an Ingram on. I would like Ingram on this team.
But it's possible. It's possible to happen. And like I said, you put a Jamal Murray on that squad with the Javonte Murray and a Zion, on a Pelicans team.
I think to get an Ingram, because I don't think no one's going to take Jamal Murray. That's how bad this is probably getting for him.
You think so?
I don't think no one wants to take him in his contract. So, because they just extended him too. But I think Jamal Murray. Okay, if you're not going to be a true number 2, okay, let's get a true number 2 in here. And I like the Ingram thing.
Yeah,
we probably have to package, like, okay, people probably get fooled. Christian Braun can play. Okay, you can have him, and Michael Porter, and like a draft pick or something. And then you can get like it may take more for Ingram, but they need Jamal Murray is not a true number 2. I do not trust him.
No.
They had a good run. You got your championship because Jokic made everyone better.
Yeah,
but
and Porter was supposed to be that. Porter was
supposed to stepped up. That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah.
And that's and that's what we'll probably have a segment each week. Like these players is kind of on the clock, right? Like you got to Christmas to show you either going to elevate or we have to package you. You know what I'm saying? Like Porter, he's on that. Like we mentioned, Suggs with Magic, and people like that. Like you're on the clock, bro. Because like if Michael Porter, if you shooting 30%, if you shooting 18% from 3 in 2 months from now, like you probably just get cut. Like they probably would like they just gonna cut you at that point.
Yeah.
But I remember Porter Jr. coming out of college. He was supposed to be like this next evolved version of a wing player, and all he is a spot up guy. He doesn't always bring energy, and he's not even accurate when he shoots now. So this team is definitely on the clock because I'm saying y'all may not even make the playoff in the West. You'd probably be in a play-in situation.
Yeah,
that's currently constructed.
Jokic would at least keep him in the play-in. Because this team, so really thinking about it, this team is constructed how Jokic's Olympic team is pretty much, constructed where everything runs through Jokic, and then he just has players who have nights where they streak off or nights where they're not so good, and Jokic is doing everything. This is what this team has become.
Serbia probably had better shooters though than the Nuggets. Like the way this Nuggets are looking, I like the Russell Westbrook. I like that change of pace off the bench. Like Russ is going to be Russ. Like I would take him on any team as long as he knows. Okay, you're going to be the 6-man Russ. I mean that's just what it is right now.
But you see, move like Russ works is that it's hitting the nose on what you're saying is when the Jamal Murrays and Michael Porter Juniors are actually balling out because Aaron Gordon is that guy off the bench. You don't want him being your number 2 option because that's not who he is. He's a great player. He does score for you, but he's not that number 2 guy. He's an
energy. No, for sure he's not. He's an energy guy. He'll give you rebounds. He could score at times. You don't want to count on Aaron Gordon though. Like I'm not counting, but we need Porter Jr. to shoot well, and he's not been consistent, for 2 years now. So it's gonna be time to package him, and you're gonna need more shooters if you're gonna have a Russ coming off the bench. Jamal Murray, you're kind of stuck with him, but it's like maybe you get a true number 2 in there, and then Jamal Murray, okay, you could be the 3, and then he may, be more comfortable with that. Consistency wise. So we'll see, man. But it was kind of disappointing seeing the Nuggets. You got Jokic still like playing prime ball, and just his team just ain't there, bro.
I find it. So you talk about Javonte Murray, and I know it's another team, but I find it crazy because the big notion last season was where are they going to send Trae Young, and they decided to stick with him, but still in talks of trading him. So it's like, what's going on with that whole Hawks team? Like, what is happening there? Something is happening there.
That team's definitely a mess. As far as that's constructed, but I mean, Trae is starting off the season good, averaging 25 points a game. He shoots. He brings the offense. Trae is a guy too where I don't want him to be the best player on my team.
Yeah.
Like, again, he should be like that's what I said. LeBron has it so good having an AD because it's like, okay, AD's really the best player on the team.
Yeah.
And or like Trae, he worked great with a Jokic. Jokic is the best player. You put Trae on this team, Trae gonna score. He may not do nothing else, but he's gonna score.
Yep.
And then in that case, you would have to get rid of a Jamal Murray, to make that work. And then you still have Russ coming off the bench. I would like this team better if you get like Trae and probably like another, just like another mid-level shooter.
Yeah.
And take out Jamal Murray and Porter. Then now you're talking about, okay, this is a top 6 team in the West. With Trae. So we'll see, man. We're gonna be keeping our eyes on these. Like I said, like you're saying, people maybe getting set up to get traded. The season just started.
It's definitely gonna be an interesting season because this whole notion, and I don't know if you've seen it, but like everyone, I'm talking about everyone and their mother is saying how easy of a road it was for Boston last season. And I just see these teams blowing things up to make sure that that does not happen again. I know injury is a big part of it, but yeah, we can't, as fans, as part of basketball organizations that they are, they cannot allow something like that to happen again. There's going to be some movements made.
Well, definitely, yeah. In the East, we talk about the Knicks. I still think they got to kind of figure out what they really want to do with their roster. But we didn't even mention Philly because it's not even worth talking about them until Embiid and PG plays. It's just no reason to even talk about them right now. But that's supposed to be that team. I thought that was going to be that team because they got some really good role players on the Sixers. But you need your MVP and you need your star guard.
I believe they're under investigation right now. Actually, the Sixers.
Yeah. Because Embiid was just like, oh yeah, I just can't play. It's like, bro, and then just played in the Olympics and he was trash, but it's like
I will say this, and yes, it's very biased. It's very biased of me, but my Miami Heat are actually healthy this season, and we have finally a full season under our belt with the scary Terry, Terry Rozier. We have Tyler Hero officially back. Full season of vamping.
Mm-hmm.
I have a prediction for him to be most improved player of the year, and I have Bam being defensive player of the year this year.
The only thing with the Heat is I don't know, is those reports saying is Pat Riley getting tired of Jimmy or what's going on with that?
So I'm glad you brought that up. So let me get on my Heat stuff real quick. Hold on. So Jimmy Butler is a type of player that is a motivative player. You need to motivate him to get to that level. When he first came to the Heat, his best seasons was when he was working for that contract.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. We didn't sign him, but you got to think these last 2 seasons, we may have gotten there to the finals in these last couple of years. But when the lights was brightest, injuries or not, Jimmy didn't show up. So unfortunately, as much as it pains me to admit it, he's not worth that contract extension yet. And even Jimmy himself has said it. He said it. He's like, look, I have all the money in the world right now. Right now, my main focus is winning. And he needs to win. He wants to get paid. He's going to need to win. Going to put it all on the floor. And I believe with everything going on, you got the Wade ceremony of the jersey, Chris Bosh's jersey rising, the statue, you got UD getting a statue. He does what he needs to do for his players. If you prove it to him that you're working for it, Jimmy gonna get his money. It's just a matter of you need to put in the work. You need to do it. And as you saw in the starting five, Jimmy lost his father last year. So, it was a lot of things going on that wasn't basketball related. Pat Riley's at the notion right now where he knows he doesn't have a lot of years left in his, once you start seeing a lot of these goodbyes or like worship being like, oh yeah, we're going to name the court after you. We're going to do that. That's when, it's dwindling to like, all right, it's starting to be the end of coming of Pat Riley being in management for the Heat. And so I just see him like, yo, all right, it's our last push. Do what you got to do, and I'll make sure before I leave, you get paid. That's how I'm seeing this.
We'll see. So you don't think they're considering trading Jimmy Butler?
It has to be dire. I do think we will see a trade, but it'll be different. It'll be different. The thing is right now, man, and this is just me looking at the construction of the team, what we did in this offseason by drafting and like signing like Burks was yes, he's a veteran. He's a very good pickup for us. He's a guy who's in the corner, gets the ball, shoots it. I believe if we stay healthy with the rookie of the year that I'm calling right now, Kello Ware, he's dude, he is a monster. He is a monster. He can shoot the three. He has a nice mid range, but not only that, he's dominant down low. He's blocking. He's dunking on everybody. Then you have Hawkins Jr. on a number 2 year, who, mind you, he was in the offseason during the Olympic time. That's all they talked about. We're in the summer league and against the Olympic team. Remember, they had that with the Cooper Flag and him. He was one of the players that they mentioned that he was having a big season. So, like, we have the pieces. We just need to stay healthy and play. And Jimmy needs to come out, and Bam needs to come out. That's it.
Yeah, so I mean, same with any of the deadlines I'm putting on these teams. You got till Christmas time, so you got a good 2 months.
Yes,
see how all this kind of shakes out, and because like I said, with the NBA, one thing I like about it is that just something's going to change every year with some of these teams. Like someone's going to make a trade or something like that. So we're going to be following all that on Night Views. As we wrap this up, as we said, we cover all sports. We cover the storylines of all these sports. Football, basketball. We'll probably get some baseball talk next week, or I may have like some segments to throw in here about baseball and men's, women's basketball, college, professional, everything. We're gonna be keeping our eyes on stuff. Going forward, as I mentioned, whatever platform you're watching this on, make sure you're following and supporting it, but also check out all the YouTube channels, the Night Views Pod channel. That's the main live stream podcast channel. So you definitely catch all these streams there. Also check out some of my content on SYL Sports. That's on YouTube and on Twitter. Carlos Real Talk Productions as well should be linked below on YouTube, and catch him on Twitter, X Twitter as well too. Anything else you got to throw out there, man, before we wrap this up?
Yeah, for those of you who love the sports, we got the sports going. On my Twitch, starting Wednesday, 8:00. Stay tuned for a stream. I'm gonna be live streaming. I'm starting in a basketball league. This is actually our warm-up jerseys, warm-up shirt, shooting around right here. Pretty cool stuff. And then I got the tag on the back. I'm picking up my uniforms tomorrow. But I'm going to be live streaming all the games on my Twitch. And then I'm going to also have a camera set up, doing a reaction to it on YouTube. Going to be shooting the games and stuff, doing some edits and stuff. So, yeah, man, it's my first time doing that. I haven't, done that before, but I'm setting everything up to where it's going to work out. And it's basketball season, baby. We're in full effect, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Definitely. Hey, like I said, we're covering sports from all angles.
Yes, sir.
Here with Night Views, and like I said, we'll be here every Sunday towards the end of the Sunday night football games. We try to touch on the topics. There's gonna be plenty more to talk about next week when the NBA is gonna really be ramped up and everything, etc. as well. We got a last comment here that just popped up here. Let's check. Champion Cardinals, most underrated team in the NFL. We win in the NFC. Also, go Suns. All right, so we got some Arizona hype.
Okay, there you go.
Cardinals and Suns. Yeah.
Go check out our topic on the Suns, brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Suns on it, but Cardinals. Definitely giving you some love with the Cardinals. I'm a fan of Kyler Murray. He's on my fantasy team. He's been really playing well for me this year. But I do like the Cardinals. Connor, he's a solid running back. Marvin Harrison Jr. They just got to give him the ball a little bit more, but he's a nasty weapon out there. And their tight end, McBride, they got a really good tight end as well. So I mean, the Cardinals they're leading their division right now. It's early, but definitely looking good. But welcome, Champy, checking out this stream. And again, whatever platform you're watching this from, make sure you continue to support that. Smash a like or share or however you're at. But we're going to talk all about this again Sunday nights, wrap-up show, football, basketball, everything in between. Night Views. We're going to slide on out of here because it's getting too late. Well, much love to SYL Nation. Much love to those watching us through the SYL Sports channel as well, and supporting calls as well. We got here.
Yes, sir.